Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is my podcast, which is real-time audio documentation as the state is engaged in a ceaseless criminal monitoring system. That is federal group stalking and monitoring. That is a public entity, that is the state of California, engaged in monitoring via communication devices in concert with the people of the state of California. And this is documentation that is supplemental to that which I continue and have published on social media, and that which I also document in writing, and this is since 2018 upon becoming aware of it. It is currently Friday, January 15, 2021. It is 8:47 a.m. And P.O.C. is ceaseless. Of course, upon leaving the museum, the state's fake sun, that is a light source, and this is already an established fact that the state is stalking with light, and it is doing so because it is monitoring, and monitoring on a massive scale with the people of the state of California who surround in what is called relevant position. That is group stalking, maintaining presence as a single group, monitoring together, and maintaining activity, literally stalking while creating a constant environment of deliberately created activity for purposes of monitoring, which is how you monitor, and with communication devices specifically. And I am upon leaving the museum, the state's fake sun directly over that venue, and this is also published documentation. The state's fake sun, its light source remains where I am, and so that museum, again, is at the corner of Transit and Holt Boulevard, and going to 150 East Holt, and the state's fake sun, meaning its light source, because this is not actually a sun, so that's literally why I refer to it as the fake sun. It is a light source, so the state's light source remains over the museum as I go into 150 East Holt Boulevard. It is aiming light onto this venue as well, which is directly across the street, across Transit, on the same corner at Holt. And the state is aiming light onto the venue and onto the surfaces of that building, which is creating ongoing light activity as I travel on foot. This is also making it more effective for purposes of criminal monitoring, as third-party group stalkers are inside of the businesses around, inside as I travel on foot, as I'm inside of 150 East Holt Boulevard, being subject to monitoring while I am inside of that bathroom. And while I am remaining inside of that venue as I exit, the state is engaged in the light activity, which I've already published. If you refer to January 13th, 2021, where I showed you the multiple shadows that are on Lemon Avenue as I cross the street, and that is the light that is reflected off of the building, that is 150 East Holt facing Lemon, which, by the way, would require the sun to be low enough, aiming light onto that side of the building and reflecting at that very intersection where I'm crossing the street to create those multiple shadows, which I documented. The state is mimicking that same light activity, especially because I published it, and especially because I'm walking this same direction every day. And so especially that which I published, the state engages in repeating, and as though that engaging in that same conduct is suggesting that it is the sun, or that is natural light activity, and it is not. But I wanted to be clear, this is what's occurring today. This is also what the state mimicked yesterday. The same light source aiming onto the side of 150 East Holt, creating multiple shadows as I'm walking. That's creating light activity. That is that which is not occurring from the sun as well. This is requiring its light source to be low enough, angling light, by the way, and shooting that light right onto the asphalt, onto the street in front of me, creating multiple shadows. That's impossible light activity. The state, regardless, the state is mimicking this same light activity, engaging in the same stalking with light conduct as I walk to what is B&G PLAZA, located at 420 East Holt Boulevard. B&G PLAZA is not closed, contrary to what Google reflects. And SCHIRO'S Liquor, third-party facilitating venue, where I do complete a purchase at 8:34 a.m. So this is my walking on Lemon and Holt Boulevard at or around 8:20 a.m. 8:25 a.m. and I arrive and complete my purchase at 8:34 at SCHIRO'S Liquor at 410 East Holt Boulevard, the state's fake sun directly over B&G PLAZA. And this is also understand the state's fake sun, which I've already captured over this venue, It's just moving from venue to venue as I walk from place to place, and third parties are engaged in concerted conduct as they are patrolling, which they are a unified group. Patrolling is where you are repeatedly crossing paths, and this is what third parties are doing in their vehicles, for example. Understand, as they are inside of buildings and I'm walking past, that is also patrolling. As they are present in relevant position as I'm walking, it's repeated crossing paths as they are in relevant position, and the state is engaged in concerted conduct with them with this impossible light activity moving all across the surfaces around me and across my person, and this is what is occurring, and that is also the molestation of the person of the target individual as they are driving past. That's concerted conduct. The state is engaged in ongoing amplification of the sound of the train as I'm sitting at the bus stop at bus stop number 7909 at right outside of HOLT, the SCHIRO'S Liquor Plaza, right on the face of HOLT Boulevard in between Plum and Sultana. And Omnitrans engaged in P.O.C. Right before, as I am walking into that venue of SCHIRO'S Liquor, Omnitrans arrives. Third parties are engaged in intentional presence, and Omnitrans not only engaged in P.O.C. while it is providing the services of transportation services, it is engaged in deliberate presence as well, and I've also documented that as well. Omnitrans engaging in deviating from its route, deviating from its time schedule that is published in order to engage in P.O.C. of monitoring with communication devices, and this is intentional presence, by the way, as I arrive at SCHIRO'S Liquor, and Omnitrans arrives. Stopping at the stop, a third-party group stalker gets off. That's crossing a path. Omnitrans creating audible and light activity, acting in concert with the state. That is concerted conduct as impossible light activity moves all across my person onto the ground in front of me while I'm walking, and Omnitrans is arriving, is remaining, and then taking off. It is P.O.C. as I arrive at SCHIRO'S Liquor. All right, and so as I remain right now, it's 8:53 a.m. and third parties, especially on HOLT Boulevard, they are in relevant position, loitering in relevant position, stalking and monitoring in their cars in the parking lot behind me as I sit at the bus stop, patrolling on HOLT Boulevard with impossible light activity. That's concerted conduct, and also loitering in relevant position on Transit and Plum and Sultana. This is the immediate environment. This is where the state's fake sun is currently located. Also, I just want to bring up something else that common sense dictates. You have the state's fake sun over the museum at around 8 a.m. while I'm there. It's been captured before that time. This is ongoing documentation of the state stalking with light. Okay, so the state is present at that museum directly over while I am there as I move to 150 East Holt, directly over that venue, and moving to be directly over B&G Plaza while I'm at that venue. And what you have is the state being up just yesterday, which was January 14, 2021. You have the state present over me remaining, which is north of this intersection. Understand that D and Euclid Avenue is literally 2 streets north of Holt Boulevard, and this is where the state is keeping its fake sun right now at B&G Plaza in order to be directly over the Senior Center, and then directly over the Ontario OVITT Family Library, and then remaining, as I documented, directly over D and Euclid Avenue. This is third-party group stalker right now, Omnitrans, engaging in loitering in relevant position in the state's fake sun over the plaza while they are creating audible and light activity. It is impossible light activity that is present while they are crossing path, approaching the driveway to stop in front of me. This is bus number 2348, and I will go ahead and capture what is the state's fake sun, and this is concerted conduct. This is P.O.C. And this is called loitering in relevant position. That's loitering in relevant position, and it is entirely intentional conduct. P.O.C. Okay, it's 10:01 a.m. and so I'm sitting at the shaded area that's facing Lemon, the turn circle. Ontario Town Square is in front of me, and the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library is to my right, meaning that is north of me, the library. Ontario Town Square is west of me where I'm sitting. I'm facing it, and I am sitting in the shaded area, the same shaded area, and with simultaneity to my beginning to select files, a third party that was already present. Understand, for them to be able to use their vehicles to cross path, physically present at the same time that I began selecting files, meaning a long pause in order to select a file on your phone, was simultaneity to that crossing path and flashing light onto my person. That's the concerted conduct, and that is a behavioral pattern. That's what third parties engage in, and that is also the sexual violence that third parties are intentionally engaging in with the state. Understand that's criminal facilitation as well on the part of third parties, the people of the state of California, and on the part of the state that is facilitating this criminal conduct and sexual violation. It's criminal facilitation on both parts. And that is that which occurred as I'm sitting outside at 10:01 a.m. This is just documentation substantiating third parties are indeed, as I have already demonstrated through the behavioral pattern and through the ongoing conduct that I continue to document, and the state's conduct as well, which is also probative of what third parties are engaging in, because it is concerted conduct in the absence of coincidence under such events. That is the ongoing incriminating conduct, the pattern of conduct by third parties. Okay, that is P.O.C. as I stated. Just want to give you another example. They are indeed psychopath stalkers, intentionally present. It is not coincidental. It is intentionally present, maintaining presence, and also engaging in abrupt presence at the drop of a dime at the moment that I engage in any new movement, activity, or any change thereof. That is the definition. That is the monitoring conduct that the people engage in with that state. That's the entity. And understand, the people are the vicarious aspect of that entity. They are one group monitoring and stalking together. It's 10:03 a.m. It's 10:10 a.m. I did just capture video of the state engaged in the same exact pattern of conduct, stalking directly via helicopter flying over as I captured the video where I'm sitting in the shaded area. And that is the dark gray helicopter flying directly over, patrolling for a moment, and then it flies. Understand, it's in real-time awareness of what I'm doing with my phone. So the state is engaging in flying, coming in my direction, and then it engages in just flying straight through the over the walkway of the in between what is the library and the 280 Lemon Avenue apartments. This is in relevant position, and this is that which is the same creation of audible activity. This is the exact same targeting conduct, and this is while the state's fake sun is also captured directly over 280 Lemon Apartments, directly over the building where I'm sitting, aiming light, concentrating light, and also molesting with light as third parties are driving by. This is monitoring conduct, and this is just more documentation of the state stalking by helicopter. That is the state acting directly, okay? 4TU833, I believe. 4TUE833, 8CAY339. Number 1212 is on the back of that car. They're monitoring. They are the state acting vicariously, okay? And while they're patrolling as a group, state stalking by planes and helicopters, third parties stalking in their cars, all in relevant position inside of the library, inside of Wells Fargo, at Ontario Town Square, loitering in the parking lot, loitering via Omnitrans, crossing path. They're all at one group monitoring together. 7ERP700. All right, that's P.O.C. and the state engaging in that conduct, creating audible activity and stalking via helicopter over me again while I am examining the contents of my phone. That's exactly what they were engaged in yesterday as I was uploading on YouTube, January 13, 2021, as I recorded on my podcast, and they were engaged in this group molestation as third parties patrol past, meaning driving past on the turn at the turn circle, and light flashing all around, moving on my person in the same way that 6PZS817 just drove past right now, and absolutely no light appears as they drive past, because under no circumstances is that ever occurring. It is impossible light activity. It is that which the state engages in to touch in concert, but understand that license plate that I just read is the same group and is engaged in the same criminal elements while the state is molesting with its light. It is a sex offender. It is engaged in the same exact conduct, and they engage in molesting with light together, physically touching with light as they are engaging in that same identical conduct, okay? And that is the impossible light activity. That's the same thing they do as I walk down the street and third parties are crossing path. That's concerted conduct, okay? And that was what I documented yesterday, systematically occurring while I'm examining my phone, updating YouTube. State is flying over by helicopter, just like I captured right now on video. McCarthy and the other third party, quote unquote, contractors, group stalkers, filling the area 7ASH589, driven by a black male. using his car as audible activity and crossing path while the state is stalking with light. That's P.O.C. While McCarthy and the other third party in their trucks using these construction vehicles to line the perimeter with light, flashing vehicles on their trucks, loitering in relevant position, criminal facilitation, 7MYM 548, crossing path. That's P.O.C. I'm reading a license plate of a third party that's crossing path right now, while I'm also telling you about the ongoing pattern of conduct that the state is engaged in while I sit at this same location. State stalking with its fake son, aiming it on me at the bench as I sit at City Hall and I walk feet forward to go to Lemon, and it is piercing over this building, which is 280 Lemon, while the helicopter is flying over. Okay, that's P.O.C. and it is 10:14 a.m. Okay, as I've already captured, I just want to go ahead and make my point further. That's audible activity by Ontario Town Square under the state's fake sun. As I already captured, at 10:10 a.m., the state is flying over by helicopter under the state's fake sun, which is directly over this apartment building that I'm sitting at, directly facing and over me at the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library. That is 10:10 a.m. Again, another point to recall. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of it because this is where it's located. And it is currently 10:29, now 10:30 a.m. The state's fake sun was directly over me at 10:29 a.m. at 435 South Bonneview as I captured and in picture at that venue on January 12th after leaving the TAD office. Where the state's fake sun is directly over me at the same exact hour. That's at 10:05. It's directly over me at Vineyard and Holt, where I captured the 76. Gas station. The state's fake sun is captured right there. At 10:29 a.m., I'm at 435 South Bonneview after getting on Omnitrans, and the state's fake sun following me. I'm subject to monitoring on that vehicle, monitoring with the state, and possible light activity on that bus, and I arrive at 435 South Bonneview at 10:29 a.m. The state's fake sun is directly here at this same time, and this is yet another example of that which is mutually exclusive. This is impossible light activity while the helicopters are flying over. And third parties at the same area, I'll take a picture of it again, engaged in the same stalking conduct, molesting with light, that's concerted conduct as I'm sitting under the shaded area. The state's fake sun is directly above. In addition to that, just yesterday, January 14th, 2021, I captured the state's fake sun in the same exact location at 11:17 a.m. Okay, this is P.O.C. And that's just another example, and that is the significance of documentation. It is concerted conduct what these third parties are engaged in, and they are sex offenders knowing that they are intentionally touching with the state. Included in that criminal conduct is a third party, let me give you a picture of that, engaging in criminal conduct and aware of it with no license plates on its green SUV, the Isuzu truck. Or it looks like a Toyota Tacoma, an old green truck, Latino senior driving that car with no plate on the front or back. Understand that's criminal obstruction of justice. Well, I'm documenting the state stalking with light. That's P.O.C. It's 10:32 a.m. And you want to recall, Erica Lorraine Spencer here. It's 12:06 p.m. Just now exiting third-party facilitating venue where they are engaged in criminal monitoring with communication devices while I am inside of that venue. Stalking with activity by patrolling in and out of the doors, particularly the door that it is in alignment to me where I'm sitting at the computers, patrolling in and out at that door aside from the front desk, using the scanner. This is the ongoing sound of beeping, stalking with activity, going in and out of the door, and stalking using their booking carts as they're walking past with their carts of books, using the stalking as they're stalking books. It's funny because they're stalking, S-T-A-L-K-I-N-G, and they're stalking, S-T-O-C-K-I-N-G, books onto the shelves, and using these are methods of activity creation engaged in group stalking conduct with activity. They are all in relevant position. The state is aiming light onto the environment. Literally, the fake sun is here. It's 12:07 p.m. At 12:11 p.m. it was directly over me at D Street and Euclid Avenue, aiming light on the top of the sign where I'm sitting at the bus stop, and it is 12:07. It was directly here. You're talking about 10 a.m. I captured that video at 10:10 a.m. I went inside of the venue. It is 12:07 p.m. Yesterday, January 14, 2021, the state's fake sun captured over here at the same area at 11:17 a.m. This is federal group stalking and monitoring, and these are the ways in which you're monitoring inside of any venue. Using whatever it is that you are doing, it is that which is embedded into society. The state has made itself present vicariously all around you, and ongoing activity is that which coincides with their ongoing presence while the state is stalking with its light. All right, and this is at Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, monitoring my communication device, use of their desktop computer, use of my internet, use of my apps on my phone, the internet Wi-Fi inside of that venue. That's P.O.C. And I will go ahead and take an image of the state's fake sun remaining where it was at after 10:34 a.m. where I captured it, and here it is at the same location. And understand this is 12:08 a.m. Where I am, clear across the field in front of Gloria's Cochina Mexicana, across from the bus stop where I was sitting, and the state's fake sun was directly over that location, which is also impossible to coexist with. Not only is that highly unnatural movement, you're talking about literally just going across the field and remaining there for hours, and then this is also that which the state engages in when it shoots backwards with its light source to be over 435 South Bonneview at all times of the day. It is based on where I'm going, and that is the state's conduct, which is directly incriminating to third parties as you document that entity, and it is also that which is the pattern of conduct. Stalking with light, which is how you monitor with communication devices while third parties are present. The ongoing use of the stalking with activity is that which is abiding by the pattern of conduct. So while the state is stalking with light, and while third-party group stalkers are present in relevant position, they are engaging in the demonic and criminal conduct of stalking with activity, keeping noise. In other words, noise ongoing that is literally following your movement. So with simultaneity to my operation of their computer, uploading a file, logging onto Wi-Fi, Bluetoothing files between my phones, they are creating noise. Opening and closing this door, repeated patrolling through this door, repeated scanning sounds with the scanner that you scan books. These are just the methods that are employed in a library. Okay, it is the exact same pattern of conduct, abiding by that same pattern of following with activity while they are engaged in this group presence and group production of activity while the state's fake sun is present over the environment. That is P.O.C. And that's what I also published onto Facebook while I was in use of that computer, and they're engaging in what was tampering with my internet availability. That is the staggering slowing down of my phone, specifically using TikTok, which is also that's already a paper trail as well. I literally uploaded videos, and while doing so, and they're literally stalking inside with activity while they are all present. Understand that they're stalking as well inside of the library while they're on the clock at work. They're stalking because the state has made itself vicariously present through them. The state has intentionally made itself present through their presence wherever they are, targeting an American citizen. Yes, you are stalking wherever it is you claim that you belong. It is based on where the targeted individual is. They are engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, abiding by the same identical behavioral pattern, while the incredible occurrence of a fake sun is over the venue. Okay, that is P.O.C., and that is the third-party facilitating venue. License 7MAA690, sex offender, molesting with light, that's engaging in concerted conduct, driving past under the state's fake sun, and radiant light moving all across this shaded area, touching all over my person. Okay, that's the third party conduct. And that is P.O.C. Also at the end of the day, after I went into the library after 3 p.m. and the state's fake sun remained over D and Euclid Avenue, okay, remaining there all day long, and then the state is engaging in the abysmal failure of seeking to appear as though it has moved anywhere. The state literally changes the color of its light source while it is in no way, quote unquote, setting. This is not the sun, and it is aiming light in the exact same location inside of the library, which I took pictures of as I was exiting at 4:27 p.m. This is the state's fake sun, which is present right now, remaining since before 10:10 a.m. I took the video of the helicopter flying over me at 10:10 a.m. Engaging in presence for a series of hours at the same location. Okay, that's stalking with light. and this is that which it engages in on a routine basis, as my documentation reflects. That's the pattern of conduct, that is P.O.C. And again, engaging in the pattern of conduct where the state is engaged in this ongoing molesting, this ongoing treatment of concerted conduct with the people of the state of California, they are engaged in criminal monitoring, and they are sex offenders. They are monitoring inside of that bathroom, inside of the library. They are engaging in presence in relevant position, acting with the state, engaging in sexual violation of the targeted individual. They are group stalkers. They are monitoring with the state, and they are monitoring in that private space. All right, that is being a violent sex offender. That is the state acting through Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, and that is the pattern of conduct, that I am isolating P.O.C. to this one venue, acting in conformity to every other venue where this state is engaging in that which is directly incriminating its own partners, because it is incapable of in any way replicating an actual son. And I am giving you literally the timestamps of where, not only the timestamps and then the time frame where it's remaining, where I am, the impossible light activity that coexists with the state stalking directly and the state stalking vicariously, that is through the people of the state of California. But not only that, you're also looking at where the state is, and then it'll engage in this incredible conduct of also going in a totally different direction as well, and being over 435 South Bonneview, for example, or being over the TAD office in the morning, and then remaining on the next day at the same time in a totally different location directly above me. This is not a coincidence. This is stalking with light. And understand that that's criminal monitoring, and this is also demonic activity. The ability and the conduct, the group conduct of acting corporately to keep one surrounded with noise and keep one surrounded physically is demonic, and it is also criminal monitoring conduct, and it is the state acting vicariously through every single person. All right, it is 12:14 p.m. and you've got license plate crossing path 6W58583. I can't really see that whole plate. Impossible light activity while it is driving past, and you have an aged white female with a dog in relevant position monitoring as well without a license plate. There is no discrimination with regard to presence, with regard to activity creation, with regard to whatever outward appearance whereby you are engaging in those criminal elements. It's P.O.C. And the state is present engaging in that incredible act of stalking with a fake son, and this light activity coexisting with their presence. And that's group conduct, by the way. That's concerted conduct. It is 12:15 p.m., like I was stating, and that's P.O.C. As I have stated, it is 12:45 p.m. and there is no fake sun whatsoever at that angle. The fake sun is nowhere to be seen from the angle where I am sitting at the shaded area, where the state's fake sun remains directly over me at this shaded area where the state is also engaging in that same creeping in fashion, because its fake sun is directly over this shaded area between the Ontario OVITT Family Library, between the 280 apartment homes in front of the Ontario Town Square, which is, mind you, across the field from the bus stop where the state's fake sun is squarely captured. It is unquestionable that that fake sun, that light source, is directly above me because I captured it sitting down on the bench underneath the bus stop hood. I'm capturing the light source directly above me. I'm capturing the light source directly above the street sign. I'm capturing this light source present, remaining for hours, while it is also creeping light underneath that structure, which is called impossible light activity, while the state is in no way in conformity to that presence. I am literally looking at the street sign. There is no fake sun. There's no light source over there. It is directly over me. The state is stalking with light, and it is doing so because it's monitoring with communication devices, and it is engaging in ongoing criminal obstruction of justice, seeking to obstruct my ability to publish those pictures of its stalking conduct via light, while third parties are patrolling, meaning crossing path repeatedly, and impossible light activity is shooting into the shade as they cross path. This is documentation of not only the state stalking with light because it's monitoring with communication devices, as I've stated. It is documentation of the state engaging in that which is demented stalking conduct while they, meaning the vicarious actor, that is the people of the state of California, are intentionally present, engaging in the behavioral pattern of stalking with their presence as a group, stalking with activity, crossing path and maintaining presence with simultaneity to my activity, with the ongoing incredible event of this impossible light activity molesting all over my person. This is the significance of documenting this impossible light activity and this stalking presence of this light source directly above me. And so, like I said, it's 12:48, and I'm going to go ahead and get a picture of that, because this is that which is the ongoing evidence of what the state is doing, which is already established, by the way. And if you are present here, which it is, understand not only is this evidence of remaining, that is stalking, remaining where the target individual is, that's remaining, it is also that which is the state is engaged in following, okay? Following where I go with this light source, that is stalking with the light source, because it's monitoring. And understand where I am facing. I am facing Ontario Town Square. I'm facing what is license plate 1454973. In order to take this picture of the state's fake sun directly above me at 12:49 p.m., where it is on C Street. This is C Street that I'm facing. This is the turn circle. On my opposite side is D Street and Euclid, where I was seated yesterday for hours. You have me, I am currently standing on what is, Lemon and C Street. And on Lemon, I am facing south in order to get a picture of this third-party group stalker crossing path with no front plate. Backplate 8 KVN 568. I am facing south on Lemon, taking a picture of the state's fake sun, and I'm going to turn around and take a picture, because this is incongruent and impossible to coexist with what I clearly captured was the state's fake sun directly above the bus stop where I was sitting yesterday at Euclid and D Street, which is right here across the field. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture, because from that location, like I said, and this is for purposes of documenting a group stalker that is a public entity that is acting through all of these group stalkers that are crossing path. If the state's fake sun was directly over me yesterday, which it clearly was, objective evidence exists. I took the picture of it. Took a picture of it sitting down on the bus stop bench. Took a picture of it standing up under the bus stop bench, where the light source is clearly seen. It is seen directly over the street sign. Everything that I am doing as I'm documenting is entirely deliberate in order to illustrate vividly what the public entity is engaged in. And it is demonic, it is criminal, and it is sexually violent. It is all of those things. But my point being here, the state's fake sun is currently, because I am sitting under the shaded area facing Lemon and C Street. If it was directly over me yesterday at D Street and Euclid, which it unquestionably was, it was directly above the street sign. I captured it together, and it was hovering. It was so close, mind you, as my documentation shows. The state was also engaging in impossible light activity, aiming light underneath the bus hood, which is a construction that's there for the purpose of shade. But the state is engaging in that pattern of conduct that I continue to document, of creeping in even under construction for purposes of touching, because it is a sex offender, while it's engaged in monitoring with communication devices. Let me be clear. The image that I just took right now at 12:45 p.m., where the state's fake sun is captured at 11:17 a.m. on the opposite side of this building, okay? 11:17 a.m., I'll go ahead and take another picture, because 11:17 a.m., the state's fake sun is directly over me. January 14, 2021. The state's fake sun is captured directly over me while I'm standing at the entrance. Today, as I exit, after that time, I believe it was 12:05 p.m., reference my podcast, and the state's fake sun remains present at 12:51 p.m. This is incredible. This is the incredible circumstance. I want you to understand the significance of this. It's not only, we can compare yesterday. We can compare yesterday. We'll just go back to yesterday. Not only is this incongruent with being over, how are you going to be here when you're supposed to be over the 435 South Bonneview at Mercy House at 1:38 p.m. You're going to be shooting south to go over there to be directly over me as I captured it on the 12th of January. Not only that, just yesterday at 11:17, like I said, as I exit the library at the same exact location, the state's fake sun is present. It is 12:51, and the state's fake sun is in the same location, by the way, okay? And not only that, that is also impossible to coexist with being where I am sitting at the bus stop across the street, across this field, right? Where I'm sitting at that bus stop, I am facing west. Traffic is going north and south. As I point my camera straight up, okay, the state's fake sun is directly over that bus hood. That the construction of that bus, it is seen clearly over D Street. And I want to take another picture because I am looking at what is D Street, and I just showed you where the state's fake sun is at 12:51 p.m. and it is nowhere near that. That is impossible. That is absolutely impossible. While all of these people are present, and what did you also see? You saw the state engaging in targeting its presence. And that same Southwest airline third-party aircrafts, they were hovering over that field beside me while the state's fake sun was directly above me at that street sign. It's captured all together in the picture on purpose. Okay, because the state is engaging in moving its little light source. It's a big light source. It's a hovering, but I'm calling it little because I am reducing it to a pathetic mechanism of criminal activity and sexual violence, because that's what it is. And it is an obsessive stalker, and this is personified through its light use. And there is no trickery whereby you can try to make your light source present all over the place, centered in its zenith, if you will. That's a proper terminology. It is in its zenith, directly over me at Euclid and D Street. But it's supposed to be, and I captured it. I remained there at 1:38 p.m. like I'm stating, where it was supposed to also be over 435 South Bonneview, okay? Not only that, I have already documented the fact that the state's fake sun has already been, I've published this evidence, the state's fake sun directly squarely over the parking lot of Stater Brothers, like the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza, for hours while I remained there, captured squarely in its zenith directly over that parking lot. But it's over here at D and Euclid over me all day long for the same duration of hours. Okay, and the same conduct. While the state's fake sun remains over the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza all day long, as I have already published, and I've already documented and published that evidence, it is also aiming light, mind you, just like I reminded you, just like it did here. It's present in the morning over Ontario OVITT Family Library, and then in the evening, feigning abysmally, okay, it is pathetic what the state engages in, acting like this light source is quote-unquote setting as it's merely changing the color and aiming light onto the same venue. That's what the state did yesterday. That's what I showed you, 4:27 p.m. Remaining over D and Euclid all day long, mind you. Present over this venue, Ontario OVITT Family Community Library at 11:17, mind you. That's what I captured in the picture, directly over me. And yet it's acting like it's setting while it is aiming light inside of the same venue, onto the same venue. That's what I captured. Stater Brothers is another example of the same exact pattern of conduct. Aiming light present all through the day, in the morning, in the afternoon while I remain there, but then also in the evening when I'm there, at the same time that it's aiming light, mind you, at inside of Ontario OVITT Family Library, it's also supposed to be aiming light into the depths of Stater Brothers. You recall that. I published that evidence already. Okay, where the state is aiming its fake sun directly over that parking lot all day long, directly over that venue. And then in the evening, when it's acting like this fake sun is setting, where all it's doing is changing the color of it, and it is aiming light into the depths of that store. And mind you, that is not the actual sun. The state is aiming light in multiple directions. The state is literally engaged in aiming, positioning. I call it directed light. It is impossible light activity. This is directed light inside, mind you, low enough to go underneath the structure of the Stater Brothers Plaza. It is covered at the entrance door. Not only is it asinine, you're talking about that which is not going to occur from any setting sun. Not only that, the state's fake sun is not even capable. You're talking about if it's above in the sky, then you are conceding the fact that it is so low that it is reaching underneath the hood, the covering of the construction of the Stater Brothers grocery store. Inside of the walls, as I captured it. It's all over the walls, inside of the store, reaching underneath the construction of that building, okay, and it is reaching into the depths of the aisles, onto the popcorn and the Coca-Cola bottles, just like I specifically took pictures of that. This is the behavioral pattern, okay? The state's light source does not go anywhere. It goes where I go. It is not moving anywhere. It is stalking, okay? Just like the people of the state of California are, all right? Just like they are inside of OVITT Family Community Library. They're stalking. The state is present, acting through them. They are stalking, they're group stalking, and they're monitoring. And I just published how they are monitoring inside of that venue while the state is engaged in providing highly incriminating evidence, not helping Ontario OVITT Family Community Library or every other venue that I've also documented, not helping the people of the state of California that are the vicarious actors of this entity that is engaged in group stalking and monitoring with communication devices in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 42A. Now, like I said, if the state's fake sun is directly over D Street in Euclid, like it was, because I captured it, you can't revert and go back on that. That is a fact that exists. It was not over what is Lemon and, Lemon and C Street, because if that was the case, my camera would incorporate that apartment building in order to capture it right now where it is over here, because I'm over here. No, that's not what happened. My camera captures the street sign because the state's fake sun was directly above my head, directly above the bus stop where I'm sitting, engaging in molesting, that ongoing stalking, that demented conduct of even trying to reach underneath the bus hood in order to touch. That's the sex offender, that's the criminal stalker, and that's the one that is monitoring. And that's the people of the state of California too, 6YJU636, okay? They are intentionally present under that same incredible circumstance. Intentionally and maliciously present as a group, okay, while the state is engaged in this provision of ongoing incriminating evidence against every single last one of them. This is the prosecution of the state of California. Understand, the state of California includes the people of the state of California. They are intentionally engaged in this demented group stalking system, which is monitoring with communication devices together, intentionally and maliciously, all right? It is that of a psychopath, and that psychopath is personified through third parties. It is vicariously acting through third parties who are present together and stalking with activity together, and I'm showing how they do it inside of wherever you're at, whatever it is that they're doing, they're engaged in the identical behavioral pattern while they're doing it, while the state is stalking with a light source. Okay, it does not matter what vehicle you're driving. I've shown Amazon Prime, FedEx, UPS, Omnitrans. Okay, you can drive whatever Stater Brothers vehicle, you can drive whatever company. I've shown how all of them are engaged in the same identical behavioral pattern under the same incredible circumstance of a state stalking with the light source. Why are you stalking with the light source? Because they are all, every single last one of them are monitoring. That's why. Okay, now this is incontrovertible evidence against the state. Yet again, this is already established, and this is what this psychopath is listening to me document its criminal activity. I go to this side of the shaded area, on this side of 215 East C Street, the library. The state's fake sun is at 1250, remaining present where it was at 1205 when I exited. Also 11:17 a.m. yesterday, where it was remaining as I exited. That is remaining. That is also equally impossible. Being over D Street and Euclid Avenue is that which is not the same as I'm capturing it facing south on Lemon, and it is over the apartments, okay? The state engaged in that which is stalking with light, and I went to a different area, and I intentionally did that. I intentionally captured the state's fake sun over E Street as I walked north. Do you understand? At that time, at 1:38 p.m., and then I capture, I go up to Chevron, and the state is directing light inside of that third-party facilitating venue. They're all in relevant position, pumping their gas, grouping around in the store, monitoring, while the state is aiming light inside of that venue, while the state's fake sun is captured directly above the street sign of E Street, okay? That is not being over Lemon. If that were the case, then this venue would be incorporated. And by the way, my camera, my position on Euclid Avenue, taking a picture of the state's light source, would not be able to capture that from this angle, okay? The angles that I'm taking the pictures from is showing what the state is engaged in and how it is mutually exclusive. It is entirely impossible. And what I am also showing you, it is entirely impossible that the people of the state of California are present, engaging in the behavioral pattern, and it be an ongoing coincidence. It is not. It is that which is a demented criminal monitoring system. It is documentation of what is sexual violence that they are corporately engaged in together, because you are physically touching all over the person of the target individual while you're stalking with this light. And third parties do the exact same thing with their own manners, engaged in the same demented psychopath behavioral pattern, stalking as a group, keeping presence as a group in the path all around, stalking with activity, using whatever means of noise making that they can, all right, and acting in concert, who the state also engaging in noise making in the methods in which it employs, while they all maintain group presence, while they are stalking with light. It is that which is entirely of the demonic. It is that which is entirely demonstrating the psychopaths that are present in California engaging in this criminal monitoring system. And this is January 15, 2021, the state's fake son remaining over Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, where they were monitoring me in there, where I'm subject to being sexually violated inside of their bathroom because they're monitoring. The state's light source remaining for hours. So as I walk from one side of the building to the other, the state is not helping itself. The state's fake sun is remaining for hours, okay? It's been here since 10:10. Remember that video I just published of the helicopter flying over? The state's fake sun was in the same position, okay? It is 1 o'clock. That's what that audible activity, which is a means of monitoring while they all surround, okay? It's 1 p.m. and I just captured it 10 minutes ago over the same location. That's stalking with light. That's impossible, not the sun. In addition to that, it's not in the same position where it was 24 hours prior, where I was sitting at the bus stop, and that is clearly established by the angle that I'm taking the picture, by the time that I'm taking the picture, by the clearly idiotic engagement of remaining directly over the street sign, directly over the bus stop hood. That is clearly all captured together in the images. I would not be looking at the Lemon Avenue apartments. I'm not looking anywhere near Ontario Town Square. I'm not looking anywhere near Ontario OVITT Family Library because it is facing me as I'm sitting on Euclid. It is all directly over me above, and that is what is seen in the images. That is the pattern of conduct, and so, like I said, it is 1:03 p.m., and this is the state engaged in what is criminal obstruction of justice right now. January 15, 2021, the state engaged in that which I have a whole playlist of the state engaging in that pattern of conduct. These third-party group stalkers, I'm going to be playing with you, like I said, this is not only prosecution, this is prescription. These are demon-possessed group stalkers engaging in a criminal system together, and they are demonstrating that they are psychopaths because what I am showing you are all the criminal elements and how the state is engaged in that which is supposed to be a criminal system that's somehow secret and concealed, and all you have to do is pay attention and have a little bit of common sense. All you have to do is pay attention to what I have documented and published already, and they're psychopaths that are literally only engaged in criminal activity. That is all they are doing while they are maintaining presence. Okay, and having props in their hands. A prop is a child, a dog, having a book, having an envelope of money while you're in a bank, driving your car, having food in your, looking, in other words, like they're doing something else, and all they're doing is being present. Guess what that is? That's called presence while light is ongoing and while activity is ongoing. It's federal group stalking and monitoring, and these are psychopaths. And every single last one that I document, all right, and the public entity that's engaging in sanctioning this criminal conduct, this is not only prosecution, this is prescription. This is P.O.C, and it's 1:05 p.m. And that is criminal obstruction of justice, my entire playlist of what is the state engaged in that same pathetic behavioral pattern, trying to tamper with my videos. That is P.O.C. That's criminal obstruction. That is a criminal act of obstruction of justice, just like criminal defamation is a criminal act of obstruction of justice. It's the public entity seeking to conceal its criminal activity. It is futile. It is a means of documentation. This is for understanding how you prosecute a public entity in all the ways in which it tries to obviate being exposed and being prosecuted, and it cannot avoid it whatsoever. Every single criminal tactic, as I've stated, is addressed under what I advocate and what I have written to prosecute, and that is I.I.S. legislation, systematic infliction of inhumane suffering, which is what a public entity through the people of the state of California and that state acting directly is engaged in on a systematic basis, and these are criminal, what I am showing are the criminal tactics that the entity engages in. Okay, and stalking with light is not only that which is criminal for monitoring, it is also that which is highly demented. All right, this is a psychopath, and it is personified through each and every third party. The people of the state of California are engaged in that full-heartedly. You are not engaging in that behavioral pattern by chance. It is called P.O.C. It is 1:07 p.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, Erica Lorraine Spencer, it's currently 1:19 p.m. Just some more analysis for you to understand go ahead and assess. With regard to just yesterday, again, this is it's an excellent example, and you can directly contrast it to what the state is doing right now. The state's fake sun remaining on what is lemon over these apartments where I'm sitting at the shaded area, and the state is engaging in impossible light activity as it's creeping its light back further and further as it's remaining over here. And my images that I capture while I remained at the corner of D Street and Euclid at the bus stop, as I specifically documented and recorded on my podcast in real time, and I specifically documented the state's fake sun object as early as 11:35 in a picture. The state's fake sun present the entire time. I was capturing the state hovering in its in the third-party airplane, Southwest Airlines, as it was flying over that field right next to me. Flying east, mind you, flying backwards, getting as close as possible as it's hovering over the U.S. Bank and flying. Those are the images that I captured. That's video that I captured, and incorporating the state's fake sun as early, by the way, as 11:47 p.m. I'm sorry, 11:47 a.m. So you're understanding, while I am on Euclid, the angle that I am taking this picture as I am sitting at the bus stop. And I stand up in order to take what includes is the side of the pole that holds the D Street sign, the palm tree. It's directly above me, and you can see it in the picture. In no way whatsoever is that possible to coexist with the state's fake sun remaining, as I captured it today, January 15th, remaining over the entrance of the library, both when I exit and again in real time as I am speaking to the great contrast between and what is showing the state stalking with light. At 12:50 p.m. it's directly over this same location, and I just want to be clear, at 11:35 a.m. it's directly over me at 11:17 yesterday. 11:17 a.m. as I capture it. As I go to Euclid and D Street, it is captured in the picture at 11:35 a.m. nowhere over that same building. That is impossible to coexist. My picture is that which is including the side of the street pole, the top of the bus hood, the bus stop. I was sitting at the bus stop at the corner of D and Euclid. You can see the bus hood, you can see the palm tree, you can see the side of the street sign pole, and the state's fake sun glaring in that, and that is at 11:35. Okay. In addition to that, you have me. I stand underneath the bus hood, and I take a picture of the state's fake sun. As you can see, the light source aiming onto the hood. Mind you, this is including the street sign. This is including my location underneath, where you cannot even see what is the Ontario OVITT Family Library, Ontario Town Square. You can see Euclid Avenue going in the south direction. You can see south down Euclid Avenue. The state's fake sun is directly over the bus hood, all right? And I also take a picture of the state aiming its light underneath the bus hood at 12:12 p.m., showing also the state's fake sun is directly over, and that the state is aiming light underneath, because also while its fake sun is present, that's going to result in shade underneath that bus hood, not light underneath that structure. That's the state engaging in that creeping conduct, seeking to touch with its light like it's doing right now while it's remaining on lemon, because I am here on lemon. This is also what I captured in my next image at 12:11 p.m. The state's fake sun, which you can see clearly through as I am underneath the bus hood structure. You can see the light source, and you can see it piercing through. You can see the street sign of D Street, nowhere near, by the way, at that time, which is 12:11 p.m., the Ontario OVITT Family Library. And this is mutually exclusive, the angle that I'm taking the picture. If it was directly over the entrance as I captured it today, again, 10:10 a.m., remaining as I exit at 12:08 p.m., that's the correct time, and then remaining over that same angle as I step back to that opposite side, because the state's engaged in real-time movement, so it moves from lemon to the opposite side of the building of this same location, the same shaded area, so the opposite side of the shaded area at 12:50 p.m. This is that which is impossible to coexist with what I captured yesterday, January 14th, which is at, again, 12:11 p.m., and that is impossible to coexist. I'm capturing the state hovering in its planes. The state's fake sun incorporated where I am looking at what is the D Street sign. I'm standing at the bus hood. The Ontario OVITT Family Library is nowhere captured in that picture, and the state's fake sun is squarely above the pole, the street sign above the, and this is also seen in the shadows that you can see. It is directly above. This is what I capture in the picture, and this is also, again, at 12:15 p.m. Where the state's fake sun is, I am capturing it is directly over remaining where I'm standing in between, in front of its entrance at 12:50 p.m. today. Okay, this is called Stalking with Light. The capture that I take of the state's fake sun squarely above the street sign at D Street, that's taken at 12:28 p.m. All right, my camera is facing directly above me. I am standing at the D Street and Euclid sign. This is nowhere similar whatsoever or close or possible to be over the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, over even Ontario Town Square. It is not even over the field. It is directly above me as I stand at that intersection, which is exactly what my camera captures as I point up, and I am getting the street sign that says D Street, and the pole, the portion of the hood, the palm trees, I'm aiming it straight up, and that's where the state's fake sun, the light source, is directly above me. The state's fake sun is captured today at 12:50 over here, remaining directly over me at the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library at Lemon as I face that direction, and as I step to the opposite side, on the opposite side where the OVITT Family Community Library entrance is to my back, that is the state's fake sun. Just literally, the state is migrating, moving this light source as I move, and it is there at 12:50. Also mutually exclusive positions, nowhere possible to be seen in my picture that I took yesterday from the bus stop directly above me, incorporating the street sign, if it is in fact the sun that was supposedly over me today, remaining in this area. Okay, just want to make that obvious point. This is what common sense dictates. I also illustrated how the state was aiming light underneath the bus hood because it was remaining present, and I literally took a picture as I sat there again at 1:24 p.m. It is currently 1:26 p.m. And the state was aiming that light underneath. And so I'll go ahead and take another picture right now, because this is ongoing evidence of what is stalking with light, because the state is monitoring. Where it also, by the way, is remaining in the same location on Lemon. And this is that which is not to be captured, where I am pointing my camera straight up and I am getting the D Street sign. I'm going to turn around and take a picture, because what I am pointing my camera up at is D Street, the field and the corner where the D Street sign is, and this is nowhere including whatsoever. I'll point my camera up, because from the opposite side, if the state's fake sun, if the actual sun was present over me at that bus stop, then it would be present as I'm facing that direction today. And I just took a picture, and it is not. It's 1:27 p.m. The state's fake sun is over Lemon, all right, as I am facing what is south. And it is remaining over Lemon. This is Ontario Town Square, that is in between, and the 280 apartments, 280 Lemon Avenue apartments. This is P.O.C. And that is just pointing out what common sense dictates. That is that which is impossible to coexist. If that is actually the sun, that is both over me at the bus stop at Euclid and D Street, where I am pointing my camera up and I am getting the street sign. I am capturing the state's fake sun literally hovering over the bus hood, which is that which does not coexist with it being right here where I am at, squarely above me over Lemon Avenue. Now, mind you, the state is engaged in literally stalking with this light source. So were I to walk over there, that's what the state does. If I walk over there, the state's fake sun is going to be present. This is what I document on a daily basis. It's stalking with light. But let's be clear. If the state's fake sun was directly over me if the actual sun was directly over me, as I captured it, a light source directly over me that's supposed to be this sun at the many timestamps that I captured it, squarely above the bus hood. I'm sitting at the bus stop. You can see the D Street sign. If that's actually the sun, then as I face that direction, as I'm facing what is D Street from this location, because I can see it, I would be able to point my camera upward facing that direction and capture the sun. But that is not the sun. That is why it is nowhere near facing that direction where I am. okay? Sitting here at the shaded area, I'm actually facing the same direction that I'm seated at that bus stop on Euclid and D Street, okay? The state, as I point my camera upward 24 hours ago, and I'm getting the palm trees, the street sign, I'm getting the bus hood, I'm getting how the state's fake sun is so close that it's aiming light underneath the bus hood. And this is that which it engaged in order to make consistent with the fact that it's aiming light underneath the structure, because that's P.O.C. It creeps in with its light everywhere that I go. But my point is, the greater point is, if that was actually the sun yesterday over that corner directly above me, as my pictures clearly show, then it would not be that which is over here at Lemon. I would not be able to point my camera straight up into the sky directly above the bus stop where I'm sitting and capture the state's fake sun. This is the state's fake sun directly over Lemon, okay? Directly over in between Ontario Town Square and the apartment homes and the Ontario Family Community Library, the OVITT Family Library. And again, that is common sense. And this is why I intentionally captured the street sign. I intentionally captured the state's light activity at that bus stop, at that corner where it was hovering. In addition to that, it is 1:30 p.m., okay? 1:38 p.m., I walk from that location to what is Euclid Avenue and E Street. If the state's fake sun is to remain at Lemon, which it's going to because I am here, then I would not be able to capture it squarely above the street sign at E Street and Euclid, okay? That is impossible to coexist. It's impossible. I would not be able to capture, literally point my phone directly up and catch this hovering light source directly over it. Mind you, by the way, if this is where the sun is over Lemon, then this impossible light activity that I documented as occurring, because it is P.O.C. as well, light activity inside of Chevron while I'm standing inside, that is not going to occur under any circumstances, from traffic pulling in and out of the gas station, from them opening and closing the doors, from anybody walking past. That's called impossible light activity. If this is the sun that's over Lemon while I'm inside of Chevron yesterday, at around the same time, 1:38 p.m., I leave from D Street and Euclid and I go to Chevron and I document P.O.C. there, because the state is aiming light, moving rapid light, white light, all inside of the walls, just like I recorded on my podcast. Just like I took a picture of the window through which the state was aiming that light, molesting with light, touching all over the surfaces, that's P.O.C. And if this is the sun that's over Lemon, then that was impossible to occur. And that is occurring. That's occurring everywhere that I go. That's a pattern of conduct, and I have also already established that, okay? The state's ongoing treatment with light, stalking with light, not only with a fake sun, but also with the ongoing molestation with light while third parties surround, the ongoing presence of light on all of the surfaces, even in conflict with its own fake sun position, okay? Let alone the fact that that is not occurring from the actual sun, which is also never over Ontario Town Square, the library, certainly not remaining for hours and hours, okay? That is called P.O.C., all right? And that is just through going through what I have published, which are the pictures. This is, as I have stated, documentation of not only what is criminal monitoring by the state of California, it is sexual violence, because the state is physically molesting your person, and in concert with the people of the state of California, who, mind you, are intentionally maintaining group presence and intentionally, with simultaneity to whatever it is that you do at the time that you do it, creating activity, any kind of noise, and maintaining that presence, making sure that someone is present to cross your path, if not more than one of them, at least one of them, and that is visually, because they maintain group presence at all times. That is the absence of coincidence. It is an entirely demented group conduct. That is a pattern of conduct that the group engages in together while it is engaged in stalking in all manners, stalking with activity, stalking with light, and stalking as the entity. The state of California, the people of the state of California, are the vicarious aspect of that entity, engaged in that psychopath conduct, fully engaged in monitoring with communication devices. Sex offenders, criminals engaged in stalking, literally, by entity, they are the person, they are the group of, mind you, maintaining presence with their person, that is the entity acting vicariously, and stalking with activity and stalking with light, all right? This is that which is speaking to criminal monitoring, sexual violence, and that which is demonstrating that which is requiring, as a matter of justice and as a matter of literally assessing the demented conduct that the entity is engaged in, that which is of nothing less than a psychopath. All right, and that is personified in each third party. It's personified through the state's treatment with light, this unheard of stalking with a fake sun, so that everyone around you can monitor you, and intentionally so, those are psychopaths engaged in intentional and malicious conduct. And while Caltrans is a third party engaging in P.O.C. with the state, going frantic, just like the state was with planes flying east, hovering over the field to my left as I was documenting P.O.C., you have them engaging in close presence while they're listening to me document the state engaging in literally, directly probative evidence of stalking with light yet again, because this has already been proven. This is just another example. This is the significance. I'm showing you how you analyze that conduct. And this is Caltrans engaging in that. LightSway 1352002, creating light activity, seeking to be a distraction, by the way. It's not. They're engaging in P.O.C. They are the same entity that's engaged in stalking and sexual molestation. Understand, every single company, every facilitating presence and engagement in that system, they are sex offenders and they're going to be prosecuted as such. It's a new legal concept to be a government, a public entity that is a sex offender, but that's exactly what the state of California is. That's exactly what the state of California is facilitating. That's exactly what Caltrans is engaged in right now. The state's fake sun present over limit at 1:35 p.m. All right, and they are present, monitoring in concert with that sex offender, engaging in that sexual violence with it, and intentionally so. Okay, that's P.O.C. It is 1:35 p.m. and mind you, 24 hours earlier, like I stated, 1:38 p.m. while I am at the bus stop, I specifically captured video of what is that which cannot coexist with even being over 435 South Bonneview. It's remaining over Lemon. It can't coexist with that. It's remaining over the bus stop at D Street in Euclid. It cannot coexist with that. Okay, while the state is focused on one venue at a time, there's a whole bigger picture. This is why you must see the forest from the trees. The state is stalking with light because it is a sex offender, because it's engaged in stalking, because it is monitoring with communication devices and criminally facilitating that conduct by every single person around you. All right, that is entirely an unprecedented level of that which is of a psychopath and that which is entirely criminal. All right, entirely threatening at a level never addressed by legislation whatsoever. Okay, so not only is this that which is in direct conflict with 435 South Bonneview, which is the specific point I made yesterday, but it doesn't coexist with anything. It is remaining, understand, at the same location. If it's directly over me at the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, as I enter at 10:34, as I exit at 12:08, as I document it again at 12:50, and it is literally at the same location, and it is 1:36 p.m. where also is in direct conflict, like I'm stating, where it is captured directly above me at D and Euclid Avenue, and that is incontrovertible. You cannot in any way contradict that because I specifically captured the street sign. I am aiming my camera up in order to capture the sun, capture the hood of that bus stop, and because that's where the state's light source was. Period. And that's exactly where it was at E Street and Euclid Avenue after 1:38 p.m. where I moved north, mind you, and the state is stalking with its light source at that location where I'm aiming my camera up, where I will not be able to capture that if this light source was remaining here all day long over the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library and over what is Lemon as I'm facing south. Okay, Lemon, as I'm facing south, standing on Lemon, and as I cross to the opposite side, it's remaining over on that side of this same shaded area for hours, by the way. It's impossible light activity for more than one reason, okay? This is demonstrating that the state is stalking with light because it's monitoring. This is nothing that is whatsoever necessary to prove that that's not the sun. It's a scientific fact that that's not the sun. And not only that, the state is engaging in behavior with its light source that is in no way whatsoever even similar to the actual sun, and the sun is not physically located over this area of Ontario, over Ontario Town Square, over D and Euclid Avenue, over 150 East Holt Boulevard, over 646 West Holt. It is not physically over those locations. The state is concentrating light because it's monitoring. So the state is adding light. Day and night pass. Days days go through. The day comes, the night comes, and it is daytime and it is nighttime. The state is not physically present over this street. in order for it to be daytime. And so the state is also basing this, well, it's daytime, and so the sun exists, and so the sun is going to, no, that is not how it goes. The state does not, the sun does not have to be physically present for it to be daytime. The sun is an enormous star that is not physically located anywhere on Holt Boulevard, by the way, or over Bonneview. It is not. Period. And that's just common sense. That's a scientific fact, not to remain a mystery in any forum, which is federal court whatsoever. I am showing how the state is engaged in an egregious and demented psychopath level of stalking with a light source in the sky, so that the people of the state of California can criminally stalk you and monitor you. Okay? And that is that the people of the state of California include these companies and corporations that are monitoring with it. They're sex offenders as well, and they're going to be addressed as such under federal law. That they're going to be addressed. There are many new introduced legal concepts where a government is monitoring through them, and they are the people of the state of California. Okay, they are engaged in criminal monitoring through the services that they provide, the jobs that they're performing. They're monitoring, and they're engaged in sexual violence while they're doing it, and intentionally so. This is the state making itself present through them. Intentionally, while they are maliciously using that title, that job, that position to engage in that criminal conduct. It's the absence of coincidence where a public entity is monitoring and also where it is stalking with a light source in the ways that I have established that the state of California is. All right, and so this is documentation of what Omnitrans, Amazon Prime, FedEx, UPS, Caltrans, the City of Ontario, etc., that they shall face under federal prosecution and literally engaging in that which is incriminating. And I'm talking about the state directly, literally engaging in that which is incriminating and serving to provide for what shall be the federal prosecution for what is sexual violence. You want to use your company? Guess what? You're going to be prosecuted and exposed as a sex offender in that position and personally while you are engaged in that criminal activity in concert with that public entity. And this is what is justice requires, because there is no forum under which you're going to engage in sexual violence, engage in stalking in this threatening manner and monitoring an American citizen under some title or job position. No, not whatsoever. So Omnitrans is providing that which is justifying their being exposed and publicly established as the sex offender, the sex offending company that it is. Okay, that's what Caltrans is, that's what FedEx is, that's what UPS is, that's what every single last one of them are. And that's what the documentation is also demonstrating. The state of California is a sex offender. The state of California is a very threatening sex offender that is facilitating that conduct by the people of the state of California, using all manner of presence, including their job, wherever they work or whatever uniform they wear, to do so. Oh yes, it's 1:41 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and get more documentation, because the state's fake sun remains here at 1:41 p.m., which is ongoing documentation showing how it does not coexist with being present over what is 435 South Bonneview, what is directly across this field as I captured it over my head, sitting at the bus stop, standing at that bus stop at the same time, and then walking north, and it's directly over E Street in Euclid. That's P.O.C. It's 1:51 p.m. The images that I took of that third-party group stalker who was also in the video arriving as I engage in movement, capturing the video of the state's fake sun over Lemon and of Caltrans, and using this music that he's playing to stalk with activity. So as I'm touching my phone, as I engage in different activity, starting and stopping his music, and it is also audible activity that he is stalking with and also maintaining presence under the state's light source. This is group stalking and monitoring and maintaining presence in the path, acting in concert with third parties such as 7FDZ, 850 crossing path, and they are engaging in ongoing touching together. That's P.O.C. And this is ongoing documentation of what is group stalking and monitoring. The state's fake sun is remaining over Lemon, just as I captured in the video. And this is remaining in Lemon, and the significance of that is to be compared. It does not coexist with what I captured directly above me as I am facing west, taking a picture of the street sign, mind you, and the state's fake sun is directly over that bus. That's what I was communicating in that video. And as I get up, this African-American male sits down in the halfway shaded area, because the state is engaging in P.O.C. of stalking underneath. The any shaded area, as it is remaining over Lemon now and not over the top of the street sign directly above me at D and Euclid Avenue. That's the significance, and this is the audible activity that he is engaged in creating, and also stalking with activity. So while he is sitting here, this is the psychopath that I'm documenting, engaging in the same behavioral pattern, starting and stopping his music literally as I'm operating my communication device on the internet. That's P.O.C. 6U42507. That is the third-party group stalker crossing path under the state's fake sun that is remaining over the Ontario Town Square, which is, understand, literally on Lemon. The state's fake sun has not gone anywhere since 10:10 this morning when I captured it in video. It's been before that, but I documented it. It is of record, captured in video and images at 10:10 in the morning, and it is remaining over the same location. In addition to the fact, I captured the video that was relevant to exactly 24 hours ago, where I was standing on the opposite side of 402 North Euclid Avenue, where I documented the state's fake sun, where it is directly over what is the opposite side of the parking lot, which is Euclid Avenue. And this is where, in direct conflict with what the state is doing right now with its light source, which is directly over in front of me, okay, like it was over there on that opposite side, on the where I was on Euclid and D Street. This is that which the state is engaging in while flying over by helicopter. I'll go ahead and document that again as well. That's what the state has been engaged in the entire time, right? Monitoring while 5FRJ733 is crossing path, and the state is engaging in monitoring on my communication device. Okay, the same pop-up saying warning failed while the helicopter is flying over and the state's fake sun is present, that's called monitoring. Okay, and that's what they're doing right now. That's P.O.C, and I took a screenshot of that. It is currently 3:07 p.m., and this is what they've been doing. That is license plate 7A55547. I also took a video of a third party that's driving past, and it is a very short video just to show basically what they're doing repeatedly, which is, it's not rocket science. They're using their cars, they're driving past, and as they are engaged in that very precise conduct, what is also existing as they're doing that is the state is flashing light all over, moving it. It is white and orange light that is literally moving across this circular seating area in the shade while they are repeatedly driving past. And I just provided, I guess I don't need to because my videos are capturing them driving by, but this is a third party that's engaging in P.O.C. as well. The moment that I stop recording my podcast and I go sit down, another third party group stalker engages in crossing path. That is a change in activity, by the way, and that is with simultaneity to that. One is immediately in the path, crossing path. This is keeping surrounding. And so I just captured a video of that because also that angle is showing where they're driving past and the state is aiming light onto me. And not only is the fake sun not going to result in that, this is the state aiming light onto the area at the same time that they're crossing path. That's called concerted conduct. That is also stalking, because you are stalking with the criminal purpose of monitoring. And this is while they all surround. Okay, so this is, by they, I mean the third parties in the state that you hear audibly flying over and is monitoring my phone, trying to keep me from capturing a video of that which I've already captured over and over again, let alone this morning at 10:10 a.m. while the helicopter is flying over the exact same location, by the way, where I remain and its light source remains. Okay, that was 3:06 p.m. That I captured that, and I also captured the screenshot of what is the state monitoring. Okay, these are group stalkers that are crossing path, and they are engaging in that same sexual violence with that public entity while I remain here. In order to capture what is 24 hours later, all you have to do is look at the video, and you can see the direct contrast of where the state's fake sun is. It is 3:09 p.m. right now, and the state has been engaged in this ongoing sexual violence, and the state is the third parties, the people of the state of California, and the state that is flying around in planes and helicopters over my head, okay? While I remain here at this same location, mind you, where the state's fake sun remains, okay, at this same exact location, which is all, that's not only is that impossible, but like I said, impossible to coexist with how it remained directly over the bus stop, then moved up north, directly captured over the street sign at that same location, which is not capable of being captured from my angle over there if it was directly above me at that location yesterday. And not it, I mean the sun. If that was the sun, then I would not be able to capture it today over where I'm at. That is a direct contrast. And this is, you're just comparing what the state is doing every day because it's following me. Okay, the state is following me. And so this light source is remaining over here, which pointing my phone straight up at the street sign of E Street, for example, after I left the bus stop at 1:38 p.m., my pointing my phone straight up to capture the street sign would not result in capturing the state's fake sun, because the state would be the state's light source. The sun is literally over, and you can see by my shadow activity, it's right here over Ontario Town Square. It's remaining on Lemon. It's right here beside the clock. It's right there, and aiming my phone straight up would not result in capturing that light source. I would have to aim it toward what would be south in order to capture what is the area of Euclid Avenue, which even that I wouldn't see, because the state's fake sun is not up at Euclid Avenue. It's over the property of Ontario Town Square. Okay, the state's fake sun is captured over Euclid Avenue, above the street sign on D Street and at E Street, as I point my phone directly up. And this is capturing the bus stop hood. This is capturing the street pole carrying the street sign, as I've stated. And then as I go to the opposite side of the same location, I just go to the back parking lot where the Wells Fargo ATM cameras are. And third parties were engaged in the same exact conduct. They were just patrolling as a group. They're stalking, and the state is creating light activity while they're doing that. They were doing the same thing, which I captured in videos. And as I captured my video before I went back inside of Ontario OVITT Family Library, and the state's fake sun is not over Ontario Town Square. It is over Euclid Avenue. I am not pointing my camera toward Ontario Town Square whatsoever. It has arranged itself such that moving south from E Street back toward D Street, because I moved back toward the opposite side of 402 North Euclid, and that is where the state's fake sun is located 24 hours ago, okay, at 2:58 p.m., and that is clearly seen on the video. So all you have to do is look at that, and you can compare to where it's at right now to where it was yesterday, and yes, it is across the field. It is exactly 24 hours later, and you are looking at the ongoing stalking with light. Based on where I am positioned is where the state is placing its light source. So based on where I'm sitting now, it is in alignment to me, which is remaining over the Ontario Town Square. Remaining. It's not going anywhere. It has remained all day long. While I am on the opposite side of the field, opposite 402, I'm literally in the parking lot of what is the Papa John's and the Wells Fargo ATM cameras, and the 402 North Euclid Avenue. The state's fake sun is aimed on that street, which is D Street, and it is at the intersection of D and E on the opposite side of that building, so it's shaded where I'm at, and the state is aiming its light at that intersection as third parties patrol and creating light activity as they drive in. I specifically noted that because light is being aimed onto their vehicles as they are intentionally crossing path repeatedly, and also creating light activity sitting in front of me as I documented in video, using their hazard lights and creating activity while they maintain presence. State flying over by planes. It is the same exact P.O.C, and the state's light source, its fake sun, is in a different position, and this is just 24 hours ago. Let alone the fact that after it remains all day long, like I've already stated, then an hour later it remains, it totally removes itself from what is north to go south, and is more in accordance with where it is now over Ontario Town Square. Understand where it was yesterday is completely out of accordance with what the state is doing now because of where I'm sitting. The state moved its light source from D and Euclid all the way to what is aligned to me inside of the Ontario OVITT Family Library. And that is another clear indication of it remaining where I was sitting at the bus stop, remaining over 402 North Euclid, and then within less than an hour while I'm inside of the library, totally going in totally opposite direction, which is south, which is also that which the sun is not going to do, but it is also within a short amount of time, it's engaging in this large adjustment of its physical location, whereas it remained for hours over one location, just like it's doing today. Okay, this is what the state does every single day with its light source. Within an hour, it is from D Street all the way over to appearing as though it's setting when it is not. That is the state changing the color of its light source, making it appear as though it's gone, so it has not gone anywhere, and it is aiming light in the exact same direction where I remain over the library. Okay, inside of the library after remaining all day long. So that is another way that you are also understanding what the state is doing with its light. Okay, it is equally impossible light activity and maintaining presence to the people of the state of California who are psychopath group stalkers, acting with that state that's stalking with a fake sun. Okay? They're not maintaining presence coincidentally under that circumstance. This is showing how that system operates. It's 3:50. SoCal Gas is engaged in sexual violence, 53313B2, 6TTU178, 7Y9, 5765. This is 7XTC360. These psychopaths engage in trying to speed past while light is moving all about my person, and while I'm looking down at my phone, and this is that which they're just continuously engaged in. This is license 4 YZK003. They are not only sex offenders, they are psychopaths, and they are intentionally present. That's why the state has a fake son. 7GBK857 is a sex offender, and she's a psychopath. She is a stalker. Okay, the state has intentionally made itself present vicariously through her, but it is not just that. She is intentionally engaging in crossing the path. This is why the state is molesting with light as these group stalkers are driving by. Okay, it's the absence of coincidence. It's intentional, and it's sexual violence. 8 ROK 482. 89517K2. This is 12541W2, and they're also documented on the Wells Fargo's camera, by the way. All of them have been remaining and patrolling in and through on C Street, and the cameras are armed on Ontario Town Square and at Wells Fargo, and also as well with regard to the Ontario OVITT Family Library. This third-party group stalker in relevant position. Again, I'm walking around, so they are stalking, remaining parked at the curb, headlights on, they're adding light activity, no front plate. Not a coincidence. This is a psychopath. She's a sex offender molesting with the state. 7ZNC787. And as I walk by, then she leaves from the curb, okay? Appeared out of nowhere. That is a group stalker that it maintains presence again as I am walking. You also had a skateboarder. They are one group doing one thing. So as I leave my seat at the shaded area and I start walking into the street to capture these license plates, because they're intentionally going repeatedly crossing path while they're monitoring. This is hostility to being documented as sex offenders and criminal stalkers that are monitoring as a group. And so as I document which is sexual violence, they are engaging in this repeatedly over and over again as they're driving by. Okay, so I'm getting up and I'm getting their license plates, 8SML770, because they are one group. The people of the state of California are one group. They are unified and the state is acting vicariously through them. 7MBN610, while they are repeatedly engaging in that. So you have one whose license plate that I don't specifically dictate. It is the same group engaged in that sexual violence. It is the same group engaged in remaining in relevant position, creating light activity under the state's fake sun, and you're passing, you create light activity. This is why the state is aiming light. Your shadows, in addition to the impossible light activity. While they happen to be crossing path repeatedly, the state is molesting my person repeatedly, moving light all around in that shaded area. While the helicopter, mind you, which you hear on my podcast, is repeatedly flying over. And by the way, while the state was engaged in what is monitoring, which I took a screenshot of, you can still see the helicopter as it is flying over. Okay? You can also hear the helicopter on my podcast. That's criminal monitoring. And that's what every single last one of them are doing. So let me speak to the malice of what are sexual offenders and criminal group stalkers who are monitoring together. The malice is the targeting entity, the state of California, and the people of the state of California are that entity. So when I am referencing the public entity, I am talking about the people of the state of California. Understand that. Indiscriminately, okay? So the malice with this entity is that as it is monitoring my documentation, aware that I am documenting license plates, aware that I am taking video, you have to understand, and this is what I've already spoken to, And this is what the behavioral pattern has already revealed, of what I've already established, that it is an identical behavioral pattern. And so you have the absence of any idle presence, any coincidental presence. It is that which is in conformity to an ongoing pattern. So with this intentional presence and the entity that is literally engaged in ceaseless, hovering, paranoid level, psychopath stalking conduct in all manners, stalking with light, stalking with activity, and stalking by entity, understand that even the faces that you see in my video are intentional, okay? But I have already spoken to that, which is a pattern of conduct and the malice of a public entity. It's a criminal tactic that it relies on, and it is legally irrelevant. So they have what are aged people that you see in my video, as the state is anticipating me capturing video of its fake son remaining over this location. Guess what? While these aged people are crossing paths, 6W74624, and light is molesting my person, it does not matter whatsoever under federal law. While helicopters are patrolling all around, okay, while the state is stalking by plane, which is already established, the state's P.O.C, the state includes the people of the state of California, no matter what age you are. And this is the value of my documentation, because I've already documented this. I have already documented this. At Woodside Senior Apartments, for example, anybody walking around with a cane or some wheelchair, guess what? Acting like they suffer some mental incapacity, guess what? That was also documented inside of West Valley Detention Center. They are not crazy whatsoever. There is a level of crazy there because this is highly demented. 7CFX 549. But there is no crazy that in any way is removing any sort of criminal responsibility whatsoever. And understand that this is what the entity relies on. Literally. 7NQP901. This is what the entity relies on. And it is that which is legally irrelevant. When you are monitoring, you are using communication devices to do so. This is why you are stalking with light. This is the significance of my documentation. You are also engaged in that which is maintaining perpetual presence. And while a government is stalking and monitoring you because it's monitoring you, understand it when it is acting, and it is acting through the people of the state of California. This is that which is embedded into society. This is that which is entirely malicious. And this is that which lies on the superficial guise under which they engage in that criminal system. Okay, so that is 8LWU481 and 8FRL576. I'm documenting sex offenders, exceedingly violent, intentional, maliciously acting sex offenders who are intentionally engaging in presence while the state is continuously touching. That is the very threatening stalker that is monitoring you, that is creeping in with its instruments of criminal activity every location where you're, every space you're at, and then also abruptly molesting your person with its light. They are intentionally acting. They are exceedingly violent and threatening sex offenders. And that's not exaggerating whatsoever. They're literally engaging in that. While you hear the helicopter flying over, I don't have to make any of it up. So I'm getting up now and getting their license plates, and I'm going to get more. I am going through the thorough documentation so that you can contrast what the state is engaging with its light. And this is that which I have already established. This is just another example, deliberately taking pictures of where the state's fake sun is relative to the physical location, i.e. the street signs. 5RLF406 crossing path again. And this is that which I take video of as I am facing in opposite direction, facing what is Ontario Town Square, and the state's fake sun is not over this venue as it is right now. Okay, this is that which the state is engaging in together, including the people. Like I'm saying, when I'm mentioning the state, it is the entity that is criminally acting and sexually violating and stalking together. So I'm referencing the people of the state of California. That's who I'm documenting. And so it is the state that is engaging in intentional use of what you're seeing in video, some older looking female. There were several of them in the videos. Even that is malicious and malicious conduct, but this is that which is occurring under the hallmarks. The state is stalking by helicopter and airplanes. The state is stalking with its light source. Literally just on the opposite side of where I stood this morning at 10 a.m. It has gone nowhere. Okay. And this is while the state is engaged in ongoing stalking by police who are repeatedly crossing paths. They are always engaged in conspicuous and inconspicuous stalking. That's what federal group stalking and monitoring is. It is that which is appearing in your face. You have to understand what they are doing. When you know that they are monitoring, this is how you get down to the elements. And this is why there is no form under which you can put some old lady in your passenger seat. You can use a third-party group stalker who looks like an older gentleman, and it does not matter. They're engaging in the elements of monitoring, period, while those facts remain. 7L31175. And what I am speaking to is an entirely malicious intent. What you're seeing in the video, even that, and this is why, let me finish that sentence. Even that is intentional in what you're looking at, okay? The state is closely paying attention to everything that I'm documenting about its criminal system. While it is continuously abiding by the same P.O.C. 99612V1, is a sex offender, okay? Part of the same group, continuously violating the person all day long while the state is flying and circling around in helicopters and airplanes. They are one unified group, okay? Nobody's getting away with anything. Let's get another one. 5Y94127. And he looks like a sex offender, looks like a stalker. 8CMY364 certainly looks like a sex offender and a stalker. They're engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, period. So under the law, under federal law, especially while they're patrolling, what I'm doing is walking and they're just maintaining presence. This is called patrolling. They're one group and they're sex offenders altogether. 7ZTZ981. Okay, it is currently 3:32 p.m. and also be aware I'm using Wi-Fi, so they're paying very close attention to my movements. And as I'm walking back and forth, I'm reading the license plates because they're just driving one after another as I walk in different directions. You're listening to the pattern of conduct as I am recording and documenting it in real time, just like I've described it. This is real-time criminal activity. 6WCZ871. What I want to do is take another picture of the state's fake sun that is remaining over the venue. And remember, I went inside of Ontario OVITT Family Library and I exited at 427, where I'm capturing what is the state's fake sun in alignment to Ontario OVITT Family Library as though it was not present there in the morning, aiming light over the same venue. Okay, this is what the state is doing right now, while this ignoramus 8MSZ042 is crossing path. This sex offending group stalker 7ENH857 is crossing path. Let me get this one. You want to go? Oh, no. Okay. Going a different direction. Group stalkers sitting in the parking lot of Wells Fargo, sitting in the parking lot of the Ontario OVITT Family Library. This is all P.O.C. just because they're one group. So they're a group that are driving past, and they're a group that are loitering in relevant position. That's called being in alignment as they're stalking, sitting in their cars. Okay. It's the same thing at Ontario Town Square. And what prefaces all of that? The state stalking with this light source, a fake sun. What prefaces all of that? The ongoing impossible light activity, the molestation of my person, light moving all around here like it's Star Wars at the same time that they're driving by, okay? This is how you know that you're being monitored. This is what a public entity engages in when it is monitoring with the people all around you, and that is being sexually violent, and that's intentional presence, not coincidental. 4NJK254, they are one group intentionally acting with deliberation, intending not only to monitor, but aware of the documentation of what I have acknowledged and addressed as physical violation. And so this is hostility to documentation. Understand that. This is the communication of a threat by that entity. Understand that. This is demonstrating and illustrating that which is an exceedingly violent sex offender. Understand that. Okay, it is 3:35 p.m. and this is what they've been having a field day doing all day long, and this is why I've documented the hundreds and hundreds of third-party group stalkers, sex offenders, psychopaths that I have already gathered, okay? Everything that the state does is that which is further incriminating its own partner, okay? While the state is small-minded, just focusing on some third party whose license plate I happen to not take a look up and get. Nobody's getting away with anything, that's my point. But not only that, those who have already been there, the one group, and they have already, many of them have already been documented engaging in the identical behavioral pattern. So you are engaging in that which is already brought against the entity vicariously acting. The state is acting through every single last one of them. They are one group. All right. So you're talking about that which is an ongoing behavioral pattern personified through third parties. That's what the third party group stalker status is. That which is the personification of the entity acting through each and every individual, no matter what job you're doing. Guess what? You're monitoring while you're doing that. This is how the state has designed its system. OK, and this is that which is also relevant with regard to the state appearing. I just noticed it because I am aware of the malice with which this entity acts. And so uh, I'm recording my video and I'm seeing this old person after old person after old person. This is entirely intentional conduct while they're looking all bewildered. Oh, yeah. While they're monitoring. This is P.O.C., first of all. That's P.O.C. And the same facts already exist. The state is engaged in criminal obstruction of justice. You're not engaging in making up a criminal case against somebody when they're claiming that you're monitoring them. Oh, you're making that case up for a reason. Let me get you this video of the state stalking by helicopter, flying in relevant position. That is called P.O.C. Recording failed. While it is flying in relevant position at the side of the, that is D Street. The same dark gray helicopter, and I am getting that same pop-up, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with my video, by the way. That's monitoring conduct, and that is while the helicopter was flying directly over. That is P.O.C., and you can see the helicopter in that screenshot. Okay, so that's P.O.C. 5MJU 516 is a sex offender touching me right now while they're driving past, the state flashing all over my person. That's not a coincidence, and this is what they've been doing all day long, and this is what they do every single day. 7WWA 473, okay? Just driving in a circle. She's a psychopath. She literally drove around the whole circle right now. Impossible light activity as she's doing so. 44MDBE. They're psychopaths and they're sex offenders. Intentionally present. Okay, 7ZZF 592. I just took another screenshot of the state monitoring on my phone while it is flying around in a helicopter. Third parties are creating the audible activity rather than the helicopter flying directly over creating that audible activity. While the state's fake son remains here, and while they are engaging in molestation with that state, that's 74KINGS. Creating audible activity, the state flying around in helicopter, the state's light source remaining over this same location, literally 20 feet away, has not gone anywhere. It's P.O.C. And this is entirely that which is revealing what third parties are engaged in. They are engaged in malicious and that which is demented sexual violence, serving a criminal purpose of monitoring in concert with the government, serving no legitimate purpose whatsoever, just engaging in targeting American citizens. And I'm showing all the ways in which they are engaging in that violation. And it is corporate. It's intentional, crossing path while the state is aiming that light. That's not coincidence. That's called concerted conduct. And they are intentionally doing so with simultaneity to whatever it is that I am doing, while they are monitoring what it is that I'm documenting and publishing on the internet. This is communication of a threat. It's communication of hostility to what they're monitoring that I'm putting up about their criminal activity. Okay? And the state's conduct is already established. This is not anything that I'm making up with regard to the helicopter and regard to monitoring. The pop-up seeking to obstruct my ability to take a video of that dark gray helicopter is monitoring. Okay? That's P.O.C. and that is also evidence of what they are all doing. While they're all happen to be in the path, it's P.O.C. AGEN 622. All right, it is currently 3:39 p.m. And this is the state's fake sun remaining. I want to take another picture because this is for the books. It is, 3:40. So you've got third parties crossing path and third parties creating light activity. 7BCU 855 and creating light activity. This is stalking with light. This is 7JCU 247. Okay, 7WEM 126 crossing path again. Okay, while the state is aiming light onto its car, as it's driving forward, and understand what's in front of him is me, the shaded area. There is no sun over here. The state's fake sun is behind that car that's driving past, and there's light being manifested on the front of the car. That's a creation of light activity as well. Okay, that's what the state is doing as they drive past. The state is aiming light instead of on their car, aiming light onto me. All right, that's what they're doing right now. That's 88369J2, and I want to get a picture of this group stalker who is stalking with light, having her hazards on. She's engaging in criminal facilitation. She is a sex offender, a very violent, threatening sex offender, vicariously acting through the state of California, and she is present under the state's fake sun, present all day long, okay, over the same location. 3:41 p.m. and understand that is nowhere near where I captured it at 2:58 p.m. for example, before I went inside of the library. That is P.O.C. It's 3:41 p.m. That is 8ND070, sorry, touching again as they're quickly driving past and molesting my person as I am pressing buttons on my phone. And that is the intentional conduct that they engage in. That is a sex offender that characterizes the group of third parties. All right, I want to take a video of this because this is P.O.C. and this is what the state's criminal system is prefaced on, that you can appear to engage in something else, and also something that's going to be as unassuming as taking an elderly person into your car while you're engaged in the criminal elements of monitoring. Okay, and this is the focus when you are engaging in that criminal analysis of monitoring communication devices. You can be carrying a dead body, which, by the way, the ambulance and the fire trucks and the police engage in using their form of loitering in relevant position while creating audible and light activity. All right, this is the P.O.C. and she could be taking in an elderly person who's on the brink of death. She could be doing whatever she wants. Guess what she's doing? She's facilitating criminal activities. License 7JCU247, loitering in relevant position under the state's fake sun while the helicopters are flying around while my person is being molested with light. That's not a coincidence. That's P.O.C. And there is no exception whatsoever. This is what the system relies on, and this is what the state depends upon, by the way. Okay, taking in someone that is going to be unassuming into her car while she's creating light activity. This is the pattern of conduct. Third parties engage in stalking with light. And this is a psychopath, by the way, who was aware that I'm of every word that I'm speaking while she's engaging in something else. That's P.O.C. Let me take a picture of this because this is P.O.C. That is the pattern of conduct. All right, and that is images that I took because this is a picture of how the public entity operates, and that is why you strip down to elements, because there is absolutely nothing that you can be engaging in whereby you will in any way avoid federal prosecution whatsoever. But it is in addition to that. It is entirely documentation of what are malicious psychopaths who are intentionally engaging in the elements of monitoring while outwardly seeking to appear as though they are focused, that they're doing something else, while all these incredible circumstances surround the environment, surround their presence, okay? And it is a pattern, all right? That's a psychopath, all right? And that is a matter of documentation. That is not just cherry picking one person. That's the pattern of conduct. I have already established what third parties engage in, and it's the exact same thing that the state engages in. The state does it in its manners via sirens and emergency vehicles using its amplification abilities to make everything louder than it actually is, acting in concert with the people of the state, all right? Going around with its lights on its vehicles while the state uses amplification, while third parties, that's concerted conduct, it's criminal facilitation. Third parties engaging in stalking with light, just like the state engages in stalking with light. Third parties engage in molestation of the person of the targeted individual, just like the state engages in molestation of the person while they are monitoring together. Okay, they are psychopaths engaging in this criminal system, and this is why, and this is how you are stripping down what is a public entity's engagement and what it is public corruption in plain sight. It is demonic activity made manifest before your eyes, because that's what it is. It is entirely malicious, and she can pull in as many old people into her car as she wants. She's engaged in monitoring. The state is stalking by planes and helicopters while she's looking outwardly like she's helping her mom or her dad, whoever that is. It really doesn't matter. And this is the point of documentation. This is what I'm pointing out. And also understand that that is an intentional conduct. That is malicious conduct. This is what characterizes a government's monitoring system. Okay? And that is P.O.C. And she can go down as she's going to be federally prosecuted as the group stalking sex offender that she is, while she happened to be taking in, understand, third-party group stalkers of an older generation in relevant position and creating light activity under the incredible occurrence of a fake sun. Period. And that's P.O.C. So that is... it's 3:47 p.m. and I just wanted to go ahead and capture that because while she's there and taking on this outward appearance while engaging in P.O.C., that is what third parties engage in. That is what the state engages in, by the way. That's the malicious outward-looking appearance of the criminal system, by the way. Guess what? Third parties are driving by me and molesting my person with light. That is monitoring conduct, and she is engaging in that same exact system. There is no form, and this is exactly what I'm speaking to with regard to malice. They are exceedingly psychopath, threatening, criminal, maliciously acting group stalkers who are monitoring vicariously, in concert, with criminal motive to do so, diligently engaging in P.O.C, in concert with that public entity. That is the state of California. Okay, it's 3:48 p.m. and that's P.O.C. That's the state flying over in planes while they're patrolling past 27371D2 P.O.C. while the state remains with the light source directly over. And guess what? It also has to, because I've already documented the state remaining all day long. This is the state engaging in that which is blatantly impossible, but it is incapable of doing anything that is consistent or in any way similar or even analogous to the actual sun, because I stepped out of Ontario OVITT Family Library yesterday at 4:27 and captured its fake sun aiming light into that venue. So it is remaining here seeking and, like I said, failing miserably to try to be consistent with that which it cannot be consistent with, because it's stalking. Okay, the state is stalking with its light source. In addition to the fact that it literally made a ginormous leap from being over where I was at D and Euclid to being directly over Ontario Town Square in such precise alignment that light is aiming onto me inside of the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, after it was already directly over at 11:17 a.m. And then 24 hours later, it's remaining over the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library at the same location after 12:50 p.m. Okay, and it is feet away over the same venue directly across the street at Lemon now at 3:49 p.m. trying to be consistent, and it cannot. So I'm showing you what the state's engaged in, and it's sexual violence. 8 HGP 646, 6 GVD 834, engaged in that sexual violence. Group stalkers literally sitting on camera in their cars in the parking lot of Wells Fargo, patrolling back and forth up and down that street. All they're doing is monitoring. All they're doing is monitoring. They are psychopath group stalkers and they're sex offenders. They are psychopaths who are listening to their own criminal activity being documented, being chronicled about them. That's a psychopath. That's an abnormal, that is not normal whatsoever. It is 3:50 p.m. 9463X1. That is the very bright, vibrant white light that swept across the little seating area over here where I'm sitting. Let me get this group stalker. Hold on. 13227L2. Touching me with them. 8LXW241, touching me with them. They're one group acting together. And so while this van creeps up in front of me, unsure whether I'm going to look up and get their license plate or not, driving in a company van, by the way, and this is this white light that sweeps across all of my person while I'm standing up, operating my phone on the internet. That's the sexual violence that they're engaged in. That's the intentional presence, the malicious and intentional conduct that they're engaged in. That's not a coincidence. That's P.O.C. And that was substantially similar license plate as that third party in that company van, engaging in criminal monitoring, okay, engaging in sexual violence, engaging in what is group stalking, acting with the state, engaging in the same conduct that AW29TO2 with a paper plate on a white Altima is driving criminal obstruction of justice. All right, 6YTR210. All right, that's the absence of coincidence. And so this is why you document all the third parties that you can. They literally are violent sex offenders and who are hostile to being documented as the criminals that they are. But that's the truth. So I don't have to lie. I don't have to exaggerate. I don't have to fabricate. I don't have to make up anything. They're the ones the state is engaged in this idiotic conduct with its light source, incriminating every single last one of them, such as BC22P55, driving a dark gray Tacoma. Looks like a Latino male, and that's criminal obstruction. 7GCH215, under the state's fake sun, monitoring with it. All right. And if I'm not looking up, then they engage in that molesting of my person with light. All right. They're concerned about being named by license plate on my podcast. That's a psychopath, and that's a violent sex offender. 4U90605. All right, so while they're monitoring and aware when I'm recording, thinking that they're aware when I'm recording, and when I'm not, engaging in what is literally that which is characterized of a psychopath. The state literally turning up the volume as third parties engage in revving their engines as loud as possible in this you see this street, it's a residential street. You got little kids with the third party group stalkers monitoring together, and they're revving their engines, speeding. And the state is literally amplifying that sound, making it exceptionally loud. At the same time, the state is flying all over around me in a helicopter. This is what they engage in while my podcast is not recording, okay? And like I said, that's P.O.C., and they are intentionally present. They're intentionally engaging in that conduct, and that is exceptionally perverted and demented group conduct. It is of the demonic, but understand it is also that which is clinically assessed as. You would assess that as being a psychopath. That's exactly what it is. It is 3:58 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and take a video of this because this is P.O.C. This is my shadow right here that the state's trying to obstruct my ability to record. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. It is 3:58 p.m. and that is ongoing, trying to obstruct my ability to take a video. This is so pathetic. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my other phone and take an image of this. This is the entity that I'm documenting. And it is more and more probative evidence of what they are doing, which is monitoring. I'll go ahead and get your picture too, since you want to cross path under impossible light activity. All right, I'm taking a picture of my shadow that's appearing. Understand the state's fake sun, I already showed you, is on the opposite side of Ontario Town Square. On the opposite side of the street, right? So what is the state doing? This is the aiming of light, right? And this is all the way that happens to be directly in front of me. This is what characterizes everywhere I go. This is called light activity. While, mind you, the state is engaging in criminal obstruction, trying to stop me from use of my phone to record its criminal activity. That's a criminal that is very, very scared. That's a criminal that already knows that it is lost too, by the way. It is profoundly defeated. It absolutely is. And this is why they also engage in this chicanery with the helicopter. It's absolutely ridiculous. And revving their engines and using the train as a means of, I guess, some expression. I'm not even going to try. All I know is that the state is engaging in making everything much, much louder. So you hear the super loud train while I'm all the way over here, which is over here is I'm facing the senior center. My back is to Ontario OVITT Family Library. My back is to C Street, where I was just capturing video. And you've got my shadow appearing in front of me. That's called P.O.C. And you also have them engaging in what is criminal obstruction of justice. Seeking to stop my ability to record more video that I document to publish its criminal activity. So I want to make sure I get a screenshot of that. That's P.O.C. It's 4:01 p.m. And that is ongoing criminal obstruction by a coward who knows very much so that it is already caught. Okay, so I want to get this. This is P.O.C. And I also want to be clear, in real time, I'm recording on my podcast at the same time. This light activity that I captured and in the shadow, it got bigger and brighter as the state was blocking my ability to take video. And understand, to create an explanation that is reflecting off of the side window of Ontario OVITT Family Community Library. Understand, first of all, that's the state aiming light. Second of all, that is further evidence that its light source is remaining present in the same location all day long. Third of all, this is light activity that has gotten brighter and bigger in size since I've remained here, and the state is engaged in trying to block. That's why it blocked my ability to take video, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with my video. Nothing wrong with my phone whatsoever. This is the creation. It was much smaller. It was a little slither. The state engaging in stalking with this light, it places light all around on the surfaces around. And as I try to take video with this phone, which there is nothing wrong with it, the state engages in blocking it, and it is now larger. And this is an attempt to create an explanation by this. But that is not an explanation, first of all. And the state's fake sun was directly over this building right here, 12:50 p.m. I just captured repeatedly picture and video of the state's fake sun over Ontario Town Square, and so it is aiming onto the same venue. This is ongoing damning evidence. It is impossible light activity, and it is monitoring conduct at the same time that I'm documenting it, and it is also in direct conflict with the location of just yesterday, where I was capturing the state's fake sun as I stood in the parking lot on the opposite side of 402 North Euclid Avenue, and the state's fake sun was not over there, such that any sort of reflection will result right here. This is ongoing P.O.C. It's the same conduct. It is the same conduct, and it is called impossible light activity. All right, I did capture that on a different video, and as I'm using both of my communication devices at the same time, because this is going on my podcast as well as the videos that I'm capturing, speaking to what is stalking with light while the state is engaged in monitoring. And like I was stating in that video, I'm also simultaneously stating on my podcast this light activity, which also I believe I captured in picture. Let me see. I did capture in images. Yes, I did. And the screenshot of the inability to take camera footage, which is monitoring. That is real-time monitoring conduct, by the way. That is what the state is engaged in. That is the purpose of monitoring. Just give me a minute. I want to look at something very briefly. All right, yes, that is what I stated, and that is the case. The state's light activity changing in real time. I did take a screenshot of it, and in the video it is more vivid, it is larger. You can see the entirety of my shape, whereas before when I first approached it and when I first attempted to take video of it, it was not a full shadow. This is the state that was just engaging in lining my path with light, okay, creating light, aiming light onto the surface, creating a shadow. That's what the state is doing. It is literally aiming light onto me, and then as it engages in blocking my ability to record it, this light that is aimed on this angle of the senior center gets larger and brighter, and this is what I captured in the images, so that is also available for compare and contrast as well. It is equally impossible, and that is just what I wanted to look at really quick. This is the beauty of documentation. The state engaging in making it larger. That's supposed to be some sort of explanation for light bouncing backwards. Coincidentally, still touching me, coincidentally, remaining on the same venue all day long on Ontario OVITT Family Community Library, getting sun on its building all day long from the literal source that is remaining, aiming light directly onto it all day long, okay? And why? Because I'm here. All right, because I sat in that shaded area all day long, and those sex offenders engaging in that intentional conduct. You even have a group stalker. She stops in front of me to stand in the light that I'm documenting. This is the level of psychopath that I'm talking about. This is not a coincidence. That's a pattern. If I stare in a certain direction, the third parties are engaged in making their presence interjecting in whatever direction I'm looking. So if I'm looking in a certain direction, you'll have somebody that'll come out of nowhere just to stand there and to walk past. And this is something that you notice when it is occurring over and over and over again. That is how down to the detail that they are and closely paying attention. And as hovering as the state is with its planes and helicopters and with its light, I'm telling you, and I am describing that which is accurately depicting what third parties engaged in that same identical obsessive hovering group conduct, keeping surrounded, paying very close attention for purposes of criminal monitoring while they're stalking as a group. And engaging in the ongoing violation of the person, physically touching with instruments of criminal activity, and doing so with knowledge of the fact that their criminal activity is being documented in a defeated effort, because they're not only is this criminal system already exposed, they are engaging in more and more irrefutable evidence against themselves. That is I'm going to put a period on that, because that is the truth. That is period. That's it. It's 4:07 p.m. And I wanted to show that's an excellent additional example of the state's light, stalking with light, as I walk behind the building. And you have the impossible occurrence of still light appearing on a column on the opposite direction, on the opposite side of the building, and my communication device being hindered from being able to record it. Can I help you with something? Anyway, so what you have is the ongoing stalking with light and my reflection, my shadow appearing. That's P.O.C. Okay, that is occurring everywhere, including where I documented an entirely different county, which is Los Angeles County. On the sidewalk, I'm standing in the shade. Reference my documentation because I've already published it. And it's supposed to be shooting off of a window that is over 50 feet away, because the streets in Los Angeles are huge. It was a huge street. The state's fake sun is on the opposite side. But see, again, you are not dealing with that which is one light source. The state is aiming light in multiple directions. The state is aiming light onto my person at all times, everywhere that I go, okay, and onto the surfaces all around. And so in the middle of the sidewalk, while I'm walking in the shade, this same exact light activity is demonstrated in Los Angeles, California. And I'm showing the shadow activity in the middle of the sidewalk, and this is supposed to be coming from a window where the state is aiming its light, and it's shooting 50 feet across the street, which happens to be directly in my path. It is impossible light activity, and it is the pattern of conduct of stalking with light. And it is also that which I've captured at Stater Brothers under the construction where it's supposed to be shaded. And I'm telling you and I'm showing you in the video how you can see my shadow. The state is aiming light onto my person, aiming light onto that environment. I showed you this at SCHIRO'S Liquor under the construction where the state's fake sun is above the building, first of all. So it's not even consistent with the state's light source position. Underneath this construction, in the shade, underneath the walkway, I am showing what is a video of light being aimed onto my person. I'm showing my shadow, okay? This is the same thing that I have documented over and over and over again, including inside of the coin laundry at San Antonio, inside of the building where the state's fake sun is directly above it, mind you, at the same time that I just captured at B&G Plaza yet again. It's over B&G Plaza, and it's also at that corner of San Antonio over the coin laundry. This is documented conduct, okay? The state is engaged in ongoing, like I said, ongoing provision of that which is irreducible material for its federal prosecution, which is inevitable. And this is the prosecution of the state of California, including the people. They are sex offenders engaging in that which is to be addressed under federal law. They are engaging in sexual violence together, engaging in criminal monitoring and stalking together. Highly demented conduct, demonstrating this which is of a psychopath, and this is that which is practiced by the group. Okay, and so over in San Antonio, inside of that building, while the state's fake sun was present early in the morning, just like it is over me today and yesterday, and you can go, the examples are numerous, and this state is aiming light inside of that venue, and even with enlarged shadows, okay, into the corner where I am sitting, surrounded with light. That's stalking with light. That's what the state is doing. This is the behavioral pattern. It's P.O.C, and that's what I captured, in addition to the monitoring. Monitoring, trying to block my ability to catch yet another video. Engaging in monitoring is additional evidence against the entity that is monitoring, okay? Engaging in the conduct that's documented is direct evidence of that allegation. Anyway, it's 4:11 p.m., and that third party that I disregarded was engaged in monitoring. The state was amplifying the sound of the plane flying over. I'm sitting on the bench facing the senior center, and this is I want to just show how the state is engaged in monitoring through that kind of presence where they are bothering me for no reason. I don't know what he's talking about. I completely disregarded him, but the elements are present. He's in relevant position, standing in direct alignment to me while I am talking about that which is entirely incriminating against third parties. This is intended to be a distraction. It is also audible activity while the state is amplifying plane engines. It's P.O.C. And that's what I disregarded in the background. Understand that all that they are doing, including the skateboards in the background, is audible activity. Okay, while the state is literally shooting light backwards in order to touch my person while I'm walking from Lemon back toward the senior center. Okay, It's P.O.C. and currently it is 4:12 p.m. Okay, so what I want to speak to is with regard to that other excellent piece of documentation where you have the state aiming light backwards, engaging in criminal obstruction, trying to block my ability, engaging in blocking my ability to document via video but this is a podcast of real-time documentation. This is also serving the same purpose. It is accomplishing the same purpose of real-time documentation of that criminal activity. This is the state engaging in that which is, I want to point out also, engaging in aiming light onto the side of the Ontario OVITT Family Library. Understand, it is that which is directly occurring after I am capturing it literally over the clock of the Ontario Town Square, and that is also what would require for the state's fake sun to be at an angle low enough, at a position low enough, which it is. It's a low hovering light source, but understand the state wants to posit that this is the sun, and it is not. So I want to be clear. In order to engage in this quote-unquote reflection, because this is the state directing light onto the surfaces all around, and this is the state stalking with light in all manner of direction. That's what it is. But the state wants to posit that this is the sun. I surmise that that's what it's engaged in, because it is literally continuing to provide ongoing incrimination and exposure of how it operates a criminal monitoring system. So anyway, the state wants to posit that this is the sun. Understand the sun is above a structure, and that is not that which is occurring from the sun. Okay, this is light being aimed horizontally onto that light source, onto the building, the side of the building, by the way. At 4:27, when I'm exiting, you have the state aiming light inside of Ontario OVITT Family Library. It is so much inside. I'm taking pictures of my shadows inside. Remember that? This is also in conflict with what the state just engaged in, what it tried to block me from recording on video. Understand that. This is why all the facts are related. This is not why. This is the common sense that is dictated by what you're documenting, okay? And when you are documenting a public entity, you're not separating facts. It's all related. And when you're talking about stalking with the profound use of a light source in the sky, okay? And the state is engaged in placing it one place here and then one place here, and literally moving in real time. You're going to document that because you are establishing what the state is doing and how it is completely impossible that it is nothing other than a fake sun, an artificial light source that is hovering around and literally following everywhere that you go. And while in addition to that, the state is aiming light onto my person. Light is aimed onto me, and that's what that was as I am walking toward the senior center, leaving what was Lemon, the 280 apartments facing Lemon and C Street. And what I am speaking to is the significance of that documentation. The state's light source, if this is supposed to be the sun, understand the sun that is over Ontario Town Square right now is going to be above, and it's not going to result in being low enough such that it is aiming light onto this side of the building, which is what the state is suggesting is occurring as the cause. Because as it's obstructing my ability to take video, the light area gets bigger and bigger, such that it is supposed to appear that it's a reflection off of the side of the library, and that is impossible light activity. Okay, the sun is above the structure. The sun is not resulting in such that it is low enough to result in, aiming light onto that side of that angle, and then it's shooting. It's literally that reflection shooting such distance that it's in front of me as I am walking in an opposite direction to the placement of its fake sun. Okay, this is impossible light activity, and I just wanted to point that out, that the light source would have to be at such a low elevation for that to occur, okay? This is light shooting horizontally such that it is quote-unquote beaming and creating this reflected light, which is forming a shadow as light is aimed onto the back of my person. That's a substantial amount of light that's supposedly bouncing off of the library. And in addition to that, at 4:27 p.m., the light is substantially present inside of OVITT Family Community Library, by the way, okay? So it is engaging in that which is outside of its angle. I captured it. It was in direct alignment, and this is that which is also not in conformity to its own placement of its light source. And the light source is supposed to be the sun, and the sun is not so low that it is shooting horizontally onto the buildings and creating this laser light conduct. This is what the state does in the morning as well when I'm walking here. This is the state's ongoing molestation as I'm documenting third parties. That's what they're doing. That's what the state is doing all day long, aiming light onto me, and I'm showing you that's what the state is doing. And I'm also breaking it down logically. That is not the sun that is so low that's aiming onto the corner of the building, and the light is shooting such distance from that corner of the building to the column in front of me, creating so much light that it's forming a whole light across me, my entire shadow showing. That is stalking with light, and that is asininity by this entity that is also trying to obstruct my ability to document it in video. It's 4:28 p.m. All right, this is license 6606 7M2. M760H0 6ETP013 58815T2 7MBU585 7HDH 892 8CLP 891 7GQL 610 7VXU 590 8TAC 314 8SCZ 654 This is 8SBY 496 and 8GEN 735. She crosses path as I begin pulling up my phone to read license plates, and the state is amplifying plane activity over the same parking lot, and the state is aiming light behind the parking lot, in a line onto the parking lot where that third party, the first license plate I read, is sitting. That is the state still trying to reach over and aim light where that third party is loitering in relevant position. Okay, that is again 8GEN 735, 7TDH 682, 1040C, 22147S1, 5MBN 577, 793XB, 7WWM 494. 2J83524. I think I read that one already. 06878T1. 6UYV740. And I think I read this one. 7TDH682. All right. Five 4R1 1274 0V2 7EVX 931 8GUC 601 5 HEF 125 8K7J 429 4HRB 589 8KXD 084 8SZZ 400. That's 8SZZ 400, sitting in his car in a relevant position directly in alignment to where I am inside of the parking lot as I'm reading license plates. 7WUZ 638 4NGF 243. And the rest of them there are other ones sitting in their car as well. I didn't point that out specifically. The first one is the other ones that I stated that entered as I started reaching for my phone and started speaking. And the other, it is a white vehicle sitting in their vehicles. They're loitering in relevant position while the state is aiming light behind the parking lot. Impossible light activity. It's supposed to be aiming directly in alignment like I showed it into what is the not only the Ontario OVITT Family Library, but Stater Brothers as well. So light would be nowhere near here. It's supposed to be much more east, okay? Not even occurring inside of OVITT Family Library. This is the state's own light activity. While they are stalking, loitering in their cars, maintaining presence, and stalking with light and activity. LIZJELI, 6JIB, 539, 8KYR, 790. This is 8PUR 716, 8HKG 886, and these are third parties who are in relevant position. Okay, been sitting here. The state's light source been sitting here all day long. They're all in relevant position wherever they live or wherever they work. 5 U.S.C 303, 8 HKC 291, and these are the ones patrolling past. 6 BQS 838. 6YPH 238, 8 SDW 763, 6 CDH 052, 7 SVC 678. So understand what I captured in that video, besides criminal obstruction, while the state tried to block my ability to take the video, you have the state aiming light backwards as I go behind to the opposite side to be at the senior center bench, sharing that parking lot where all those group stalkers are monitoring right now as I walk through. The state aiming light backwards onto in front of me. Onto that means light all over my person as I am walking in the opposite direction from the location of its fake sun. From that direction, the state aiming light onto the building and into that parking lot in order to create a barrier of light while third-party group stalkers are sitting all around and patrolling as a group. This is impossible light activity as well. This is the state engaging in maintaining presence via light and maintaining presence vicariously through group stalkers. 8EJS 217. 5 WSN 075. 7 GBK 857. 7 TGP 854. 7 KLL 191. 7R40564, 8 EVW 766, 7 XEL 094. Seven YAB 653. 8 NBX 526, ROB3 KKD, and also understand that this is a public entity that is monitoring through every single last one of these third parties. They represent the same group of third parties, and understand they are engaging in 8 NQW 169. Group stalking at 3-Star Janitorial Warehouse, sitting in the middle of the driveway in the parking lot, and also loitering via sitting at the stop sign as I'm walking down the street. And the state's light source rather, is also being impossibly aimed also now on the driveway as I'm walking down what is Lemon. So the state's fake sun yesterday was aiming light in direct alignment inside of the library. It was targeted at that location, and then you have it spanning across as I'm walking behind that, behind Lemon to the opposite side of the senior center, into the parking lot behind, on the opposite side of that building, and also touching the opposite end of Lemon. It's spreading its light, stalking with light. LPR 96, 6AQF 436, I'm sorry, 7RMP 9590, excuse me. AW88S19, that's a paper plate on an Infinity. 6T04903, 7JLU156, 8SBZ 583, 8EWE 709, 5VQF332, 8MSU 782, 4DL2751. Understand this is all one group. They were engaged in sexual violence today. 6 PRT 679, as they are every day. I'm just getting some specific names now. They are one group engaging in that ongoing molestation all day long while the state's light source remain directly over me, okay? In conflict with every single piece of evidence that I already have with regard to the state's light source and stalking conduct, because every single last one of them are monitoring. Okay, I am documenting third parties who are parking their vehicles, representing a third party, engaged in this criminal system in concert and on behalf of the state of California. They are the people of the state of California, and that is a means of identifying them. And that is what I am. That's the significance of the license plates of those third parties that are all parked around in relevant position, representing third parties, by the way. Every single last one of them. Whether you live there, whether you work there, whether you're visiting there, whether you're just there stalking temporarily because I'm there in relevant position, whatever your reason is, it really doesn't matter. That is a vehicle serving identification purposes. Okay, and the state is monitoring through that individual. And that's what I'm documenting. The totality of that entity and the people of the state of California are that entity, so I am documenting all their license plates. I also happen to document third parties who are engaged in P.O.C. in real time. But every single license plate is a means of identification, and these are the people of the state of California who are the targeting entity, engaged in extreme sexual violence, stalking, and monitoring. 7GMN832, 6JJX584, 8NXN529, 8LEL644, 3MCX757, 8ROU417, 19915R2, 8LWT716, 6VZK872, 5JHU411, 4KEU252, 6DIMD47, 6XOD234, 8HLE20, can't really see that one, 7NPC470, I think, 8DMJ038, and that was Omnitrans engaging in crossing path, audible activity, and the ongoing monitoring conduct with the state. 7ZTW586, V881LO, 8HAU. I want to say 870, but I didn't see the rest of that. 4RUI636. That's Omnitrans number 2362. It is currently 4:50 p.m. 6 BMK110, 8MYB598, 67485U2, 5PUZ750, 65121P2, 4665, 7Z68613, 46651A1. Okay. I interrupted that last one to get a different plate. 8RSUB12. BLIN 646. And so I want to go ahead and show you something. It's 4:51 p.m. It's 4:55 p.m. 8UI7356. Let me see. 7LVE201. 8LWS 923, I believe. 7J32479, 7VCK509, 7WPE967, 7L6L, 7L61298, excuse me, 8MOA235, 8W28837, 19247E1. And I did just capture video of what is the impossible light activity, the state stalking with light remaining from its light source over the same exact area, 5ZST597, while they are patrolling. They are one group patrolling past 8MFJ562 repeatedly. So understand, this is the this is the public entity that is literally pacing back and forth repeatedly via each third party. 8DSN 981. All right, while the state is also engaging in remaining with its light source, impossible light activity 6VRG 567. 8ECC 633. 8AOG 936. 8NRU 605. 7VJM 081. 5YEF 458. That's the same entity in the background using its motorcycle, creating audible activity, but that's the entity acting vicariously through that psychopath group stalker in relevant position while the state is amplifying the sound of his vehicle, which he is intentionally engaging in using for monitoring purposes, while they are all present with light activity, okay? And it's also supposed to be a distraction, all right? P.O.C., because every last one that I'm about to read are monitoring with it. They are one group in the same way that they were engaged in repeated sexual violence today, just like every other day. They are one group engaging in that sexual violence together while they're monitoring. 6JDX045, 7YPL 704, 7DGDC 252, 7XIP 228, 8RY 256, I believe, 8TBB 535, 6MAY 748, 3XIS 654, 7GBB 452, 8EGV 783, 5129 3R2, 8M, I can't really see that one, 8NDC 941, 7J, I can't really see that one that clearly. And by the way, that third-party group stalker on the motorcycle was just sitting in the driveway at 3-Star Janitorial Warehouse, in the driveway, horizontally, okay, not in the driveway facing like it's about to drive in or drive out, horizontally in the driveway facing me, just revving its motorcycle engine, okay? 8UAU806. 8EWD227. It is 4:57 p.m. 8MSN 450. 6WGV 501. That's the same group stalker that arrived at the Ontario apartments at 280 Lemon while I got up for the first time to start walking around and documenting Caltrans engaged in sexual violence and monitoring. 8DQF 361. 68454G1, 8AJP 974, 104TW, 8TAP 3, I can't really see that one, 6FON 459, 7RXX 89, I can see that one, 7NMS 651, 6JVS 017, 4ARK 800, 8JIM 246, 6TDM 416, 8MXL 371, 4ZPE 209, 2JTC 064, can't really see that one, 5U62, can't see that one either. Let's see, 5DVL 855, 8N74 854, 7VQT 743 or 7PL 554. Substantially similar. It looks like the group stalker that stays at the Ontario Town Square. Monitoring. Eight GTG 731. 7SJ, I can't really see that one that clearly. 7PNS023, I believe. Substantially similar. 5YND643, 8CEH655, 6TWS312, BH44WO8. That's a paper plate. 8SLR581, 7AK S625, 7HNL 630, AEZC 970, 5WSG 609, 4401 6K2, 8LJS 149, 8TRL 124, 6HFH, you can see the rest of that one, BH47C94 is a paper plate, 88099M2. It is currently 5:01 p.m. 7VPS 997, 5MNL 463, 8LUL 397. Eight GSB 051, 7KSC 298, 6LZN 957, 7XTP 228, 8EQD 820, 6LMM 595, 407EJ. It's a handicap. It is currently 5:02 p.m. 8BAB 627, 7HZ, can't really see that one, 7XAV 999, 8RGW 855, Kia X, KIAEX 3UEL 665, 1415882, 5XPY 474, 848159, substantially similar, 5NCF 682, 8FRS 783, D48750, I believe, 6MIJ 55, and it's not, I can't see the whole plate, 7RGX 723, 8ERL 600, CAL 688, 8TMJ 343, 5MTC 421, USPS is literally just patrolling back and forth, driving east and then driving west, driving around the corner, then driving back. It's literally just patrolling around. That's what the entity is doing vicariously. The people of the state, these third parties, that's what they're doing as one group. But USPS specifically is literally just driving back and forth, turning around and driving back again. 7KM 775. I can't really see that one that clearly. 7YEM 825. 8JQF. I can't really see the rest of that one. It's an old Toyota Camry. 8LEK 885. 7TAB 831. 8NFC 586. 8NOK 009. Your headphones are hanging out your car. 8PQT 041. 8MXX 911. 5JVJ 903. 8N7515, I believe. 44504P2. SLSN is on that truck. And they all remain in relevant position at Andy's Burgers. The entire plaza, actually. Ontario 1580343. Stalking just like it was this morning, doing nothing else but monitoring. 12191T1. 7MPG 426. 8DV I can't see it. I can't see that plate that clearly. Okay. The state engages in keeping the light for a prolonged period for purposes of monitoring, especially because I'm documenting third-party license plates. Ordinarily, when there's no traffic and you press the crosswalk, it turns. Okay, that's ordinarily how it goes, not when you're monitoring and not when that target individual is documenting your monitoring. 6 LEA 802, 5 CFP 871, 7 HIP 601, 8 MKL 884, BRDY LVR, 6 FPU 479, 07683V2, 86344D2, 8RRU 062, 7 TRS 876. He's speeding up to make sure he crosses path. 8 FPV 640. That's what I mean by coming out of the blue, because I turned right around. 6 DZS 659, 5Y SY 565. 8 LTN 665 40344C3, AW8 2S57 with a paper plate on a black Honda SUV, 5 SRT 132. Their VIN number on this paper plate is 5 FNY F7H22M003246. License plate 5 VAP 664. That was the VIN number for the paper plate that I read, for the black Honda SUV. Okay, 5 FPU, I said that one. 5 EQG 933, 6 PVD 006, 5 WGW 921, 5 XXD 895, 8 ERS 053, 5 FPU 429. Understand, while I'm here, they're monitoring again. And understand they also remain in relevant position all day long while the state was stalking with its light source over me. This is in relevant position. They are in the path. They're monitoring with communication devices. And that is ongoing even over here from where I'm sitting at the library area. 8HHZ 816, 5XBX 732, 7JYG 352. And in addition to that, like I've stated, 8RPZ 597. This is identification of the third party acting vicariously. I'm literally identifying the people of the state of California that are the vicarious actors with that entity that is operating a monitoring system. So I'm literally identifying as many as possible. 8 H15379, 6 TXX 976, 6 ZXR 479, 8 TSZ 679. 7 PAZ 816, 7 MVU 356, 8 T. Oh, I said that one already. 5 EGN 663, 8 DVV 536, 6 GVC 812, 8 EDF 549, 8 REE 334, 8 LXF 690, 8 GYM 159, 7 XGH 805, 7 ZDZ 684, 5 EQG 933, 7 TRS 876. I read that one over. 8 BAB 520, 8 ATN 905, 39565 G2, 8 NXP 033, 6 BBH 737. This one that was stalking behind me is sitting in their car now. It's 8 BEF 912. And on camera, as I'm walking through, they're with headlights on me, driving slowly, and then they engage in parking. 6 KHL 798, 7 ZHE 547, 7 P10844, 8 NQW 169, 5 DLR 161, 5 YRW 027, 6 VZD 071, 8 LNJ 008, 7 TTV 999, sitting in their car and touching with light, AV 52 P49, that's VIN number JHMGE8830CC032381, 8 LEK 873, 5 SQE 129, 6 ZRN 203, 6 MID 708, 8 BHJ 416, 6 NZV 265, 6 RXY 460, 7 BSP 540. Mind you, this is where the state was aiming its fake sun over this building. And also, as I'm documenting, like I pointed out in my video, the state was still remaining with its light on the surfaces of the ski building. That's keeping light on the surfaces around the environment. And also a stream of light across the street as they're all patrolling. This is monitoring conduct. They are all in relevant position and monitoring together. It's indiscriminate with regard to the vicarious actor that is the people of the state of California. And these are identification of them: 4J60991, 8LRD613, 8KPB 884, 6RZ V447, 5KPZ 010. And there is no doubt about, this is the same Georgia plate that I read this morning. And many of these are the same ones that are here at the same plaza, systematically monitoring every time that I return specifically, acting, engaging, and remaining in relevant position as I stay in the area as well. 7GVY073. Making them repeat sex offenders. 79949L1, touching while he's crossing path. This is intentional presence, intentional touching, monitoring on behalf of the state. 7TNZ903, crossing path on the back street as I approach. 6BRJ282. 7RKJ 581, 5EKH 652, 8KQY 807, 4W36 679, 8FED 335, 8JQE 072, 7LHX 916, 5EWX 199, 7RLA 000, 7HCM 281, 6TED 769, 7FQH 154, 7ZHE 547, 5YLJ 772. This third party female with a blue shirt and a long gray ponytail with the Cooper, engaging in monitoring. No different. Trunk is up so I can't see the license plate. 8 CTF 586. It is currently 5:13 p.m. All right, it's 5:19. I just exited the third-party facilitating venue, SCHIRO'S Liquor. You have light activity in the venue by the flickering of the lights in the store, okay? It's not a power outage. These are the ways in which you engage in monitoring, and that is less obvious rather than shooting light into the venue. 7TOY 848. It's currently, again, 5:19 p.m. CIA DBPE 23643S1 4KLF 343 7J32479 8NCM 176 8CZP 135 BH47C94. That's a paper plate. American Towing, license 84505L2 5AEW 712, license 7NXL 256, license 8DRN 907. They are all in relevant position. First of all, they're creating an ongoing barrier of light while they are in relevant position as I'm inside of the store at the red light. It's the same thing when I'm using the bathroom in 150 East Holt, and they're monitoring, and they're in relevant position at the traffic light. It's the same exact conduct. 8LXW 945, 8QO 948, 4LQJ 985, 8EKY 973, 8SOD 537, 4RWB 817, 7CLP 985, 49235J2, 8NVG 643, 8PDZ 873, FedEx 1489, 1K 14891K1, I guess. I can't really see that one. 8 NCU 326. I can't really see that one. 7E. Oh, this one keeps stalking back up and forth up and down the street. 19949A3. Don't worry, you are heavily documented, hun. AMR. Oh no, that's USPS. 6TDM 416, 6MIR 181, 7EHD 985, 8TZX 367, Understand every single last one of these are the equivalent of AMR. They are the state vicariously. AMR is the state directly. 31861M2. So my mistake is not really that much of a mistake. They are the same entity. This is 7HKT668, 5FIY632, 87996A1, 8LGV961. It's 5:22 p.m. 8SJX211, 8MAW324. Um, 7YKJ251, 87095M1, 8NVJ896, 7DSH642, 7ZHS 512, 5FPU429, KX again, 6WDA 083, 7ROR 769, 6003, 2X1. Eight MCA 801, 8 GVK 765, 5 VMB 718, 8X 84438, UNITY Heart 3, 6 NDH 280, 8 SDE 624, 6Z 69350, 8 LFL 756, 7 BRB 539, 8 Y55 840, 8 TRR 682, BC 75S33, which is the paper plate, 8 BDK 432, 8 RQE 000, 8 PSR 269, 5 BEG 410, 7L 36378, 8 BCB 753, 24711 K2 21977M1, 8 RJB 037, 8 EWT 623, 8 ATN 905, 5 ZSB. I didn't really see the rest of that one. 8 DVT 536, 8 FFH 608, I believe. 7 VFK 384. It's currently 5:24 p.m. 7 VZE 053, 7 MRA 322. 5 XIS 574. 7 VDD 925, 8 LOU 469, 6 GAE 324, 7 PLP 341, 8 C18 608, I think, 5J XK 509, 7 ERA 338, 8 LKX 809, 7 TRS 874, I believe, 876. 8RHH 260, 8KPB 884, 6 BBH 737, 8K SZ473 and BH39H13, paper plate. Let me get this one. This is 7BXL999. 8 BKH230, 7 RUB674, 21805J2, 6 RDN861, 8LCH777, 38258N2, 7ZFK712, 310 P.O.3 Nevada, 5 RFA 180, 8022 1Y2, All right, and the rest of them that are sitting and loitering in relevant positions, stalking with activity as I arrive at the intersection of the sidewalk. 8X84438. Stalking with activity as I stop to document this license plate. 7MWB750. Okay? This is license 4WWX300. 6LBT835. Did I get that one? Let me get this one over here. 6YVC225. I don't know if I read that one already. They're all just chilling, studying their phones. 7UKP477. P.O.C. Stalking with light. P.O.C. That's the 4WWX 300. 8X84438. Want to make sure I get that one correct. It's 5:27 p.m. One 4954 G1 5 UCF 983. I can't really see that one. It's an infinity. Scratch that. 5XTR 449. 7UZT 742. Yeah. Let me get this one. Speeding into B&G Plaza. BJ3Z256. Is that somewhere? Go ahead. Go ahead. You good. 50842 F1. That's Pepe's. 50842 F1. 8CWK 236. RTFJADA BEST 139 8A68 625. Let's see, 6 E. Oh, I can't really see that one. Eight BPF 497. That is the ongoing deliberation of traffic, understand? Just in the same way the state uses the traffic lights to moderate and keep present, literally pacing their presence. Third parties also engaging in speeding up or slowing down in order to stay present. 6 BLT. Oh, I already documented that third party anyway. They're speeding up. They're speeding up or slowing down in order to maintain presence. It's all based on what I do, including the operation of the traffic lights and the crosswalk, like I said. Yeah, that's P.O.C. You are becoming familiarized with that, which is the absence of just ordinary activity. It's all serving a monitoring purpose, and it is on hyper monitoring now as you document that public entity engaged in P.O.C. 7 PWS 505, 8 GSC 433, 7 EHP 792, 4 YTA 639, 6 HCY 550, 7 NQP 901, 8 MBU 106, 6 NHC 969, 12135 U2, 8 CQT 152, BH 98D34, which is a paper plate, 8 TBE 958, and the VIN number on this paper plate is 1GCPWDED2MZ145817. WOY 427. And this is 6V27217. The same third-party license plate that I documented in the parking lot, that would be the first one as I started walking from the senior center, and the state was aiming its impossible light activity inside of that parking lot, creating a line across the parking lot, just like it was creating a line across Holt Boulevard. That's the same third party that's crossing path right now. All right, license 7GIV463, 6VRJ819. And the other one, 6GIV, sitting in their car in relevant position, light activity. That is the stalking. Especially at night, that's stalking by entity, that is stalking with light. Currently 5:34 p.m. That's light activity as the building lights turn on as I'm walking through the space right in front of the senior center. That's a group stalker that's in relevant position on a bike while the state is creating that as a means of light activity. Understand that. And group stalkers sitting in their car. Understand that. And the state is always present stalking via aircraft. And the state is always stalking by police and fire and ambulance. They are the state acting directly. They are always present. They are acting vicariously through the people of the state, which I am documenting. It's 5:34 p.m. All right, it's 5:39 p.m. I just want to document something. I did go to the Ontario OVITT Family Community Library where, by the way, the state's fake sun, its light source remained over the building all day long, okay? Remained directly in front of it all day long, and then even aiming light behind it as I walk from Lemon to go to the senior center bench. This is P.O.C, and what I want to speak to specifically is as I enter at around 5:36 p.m., you have the third-party group stalker, an employee, it's a third party, engaging in P.O.C visibly, okay? Outside of presence. Visibly meaning engaging and holding up his phone, facing me, and understand they're not doing it such that they're holding their phone up and aiming it on me, especially while I'm documenting them. This third party engages in aiming his phone up at me, walking out at the same time that I am granted entrance, but he's doing it while he's talking to someone else, while he's looking at someone else. Ooh, look at my phone. He's engaging in P.O.C. Third parties engage in this conduct of aiming their phones at me. This is exactly what started my documentation of P.O.C., and you have that which is malicious conduct, and this is what he's doing as I enter the venue, specifically as I'm engaged in operation of my phone the entire time I'm walking here. The monitoring system is such that third parties in the state remain aware corporately of what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and they're monitoring me as I'm entering in to use the bathroom and monitoring me while I'm inside of the bathroom, okay? I just want to point that out. That is a non-clever maneuver for aiming his phone at me for purposes of monitoring, and I also reference the security cameras. It's 5:40 p.m. Okay, 5:43 p.m. I believe, just about roughly 90 seconds ago. I did just document another, well, actually two things. As I exit Ontario OVITT Family Community Library at around 5:40 p.m., excuse me, the state flies directly over my head as I go, which is a direction that they did not expect me to go. Usually sitting at the senior center bench, and I walk the opposite direction, and I cross Lemon Street. State flies at the same time as I go that different direction. State flies over my head in an airplane. Moments later, the state is flying in relevant position, amplifying the sound of a helicopter. Again, this is an ongoing audible activity, which I also captured in video moments later as it is flying in helicopter, while third-party group stalkers, which I also documented, are all like cockroaches, like I said, creating light activity. And while they are crossing path, they are grouping together in alignment over here to the side where the state was also flying by helicopter. But they're not the other ones. They're not the only ones, excuse me. The state is acting vicariously through third parties who are traveling on traffic on Euclid Avenue and who are loitering in relevant position at this very same property at Ontario Town Square. What I capture on video is as third parties are engaging in that cockroach conduct. They're just moving all around with their lights. And the state is also engaging in aiming light onto the wall right next to me while while one third party in particular is aiming or driving in my direction, and that's supposed to be headlights that are reaching all the way this distance across the property onto the wall in front of me. While the helicopter is flying over, while the state is flying over my head in planes, that's the same conduct using impossible light activity. That's concerted conduct. The state is aiming light onto the surfaces around me while third parties are in my path, okay? That is what I captured in video. It's 5:46 p.m. at Ontario Town Square. That's P.O.C.